shift directions and contemplate trading Arenado.
Paul Goldschmidt has agreed to a one-year, $12.5 million deal with the Yankees.
I expect to be in St. Louis right now until I'm told I'm not, and I'm excited for it. And there's been a lot of noise out there.
So wearing this uniform for 23 years in the big leagues, really proud and I enjoy every single moment. There's nothing to regret. Enjoy every moment in my career.
Can you put into words what this town has meant to you?
This is my home. St. Louis is my home. I appreciate all the fans for the support over many years.
I sing to deaf ears, they still hear what I'm saying. My eyes might be blurry, but I see reciprocation. I'll go to Missouri to see what we wasted. I may be the fool, but at least I can say that I don't need you. No, I don't need you no more.
The St. Louis Cardinals are one of the historically great franchises of the National League, if not the greatest team in the history of the National League. However, in recent history, the Cardinals have fallen from grace at the top of the National League and even have fallen and slipped a little bit in their own division of the National League Central. With Paul Goldschmidt gone, they are entering 2025 in likely a rebuilding era in St. Louis, and we are going to participate in that in this rebuild. For the past several decades, the St. Louis Cardinals have been filled to the brim with Hall of Fame level talent as pillars of their organization. From Albert Pujols to Paul Goldschmidt at first base, from Matt Holliday to Matt Carpenter to Nolan Arenado at third, and of course Yadier Molina at catcher, as well as Chris Carpenter and Adam Wainwright at starting pitcher, they have had a lot of real essential pieces that they've built this team around for the past 20 to 25 years. However, as Paul Goldschmidt is gone and Arenado is seeking out a trade, Yadier Molina has retired, and Adam Wainwright has retired, they are kind of swimming without a paddle, looking for a direction without really having one at this moment. And we are going to attempt to give them a direction by rebuilding those pillars for the St. Louis Cardinals. Part of this is going to come from Nolan Arenado, a third baseman who they received in a trade following the 2020 season going into 2021, who has been a core member of the last several years of these Cardinals. As he's been seeking out a trade, looking to move to a contender, and no longer desiring to be on a rebuilding Cardinals team as he enters his age 33 season, he may be a piece that we will move off of. Now, this is going to be a big part of a lot of this roster. They don't have a lot of pillars that are in their mid-20s to late 20s that could end up being big pieces for this team to be built around. With the starting pitching rotation being Sonny Gray, Eric Fetty, Miles Michaelis, all in their mid to late 30s for Major League Baseball, they don't really have a pitching core to build on. When they talk about their catcher, they do have Ivan Herrera, who I do believe will be a catcher that we will build upon, as I see a lot to the potential of Ivan Herrera as a future star in the major leagues. But at first base, they're running Wilson Contreras, a former catcher who they need to run at first this season, thanks to Paul Goldschmidt's, removal from the team and moving in free agency to the New York Yankees. We also have Arenado, but the rest of the positions are filled with young guys who haven't really shown their potential yet. Nolan Gorman hasn't looked good last year, but had a couple good seasons, or especially a decent season back in 2023, where he at least had a 300 on-base percentage, but we don't necessarily know if that's going to mean anything. Mason Wynn is a young prospect who last year had a decent rookie year, hitting 15 home runs and 267 average. They also drafted J.J. Weatherholt this past season, and he could end up being a future star for them at shortstop. Their outfield is filled with mid-20s guys who could end up being something like Brendan Donovan. We have ourselves Lars Nootbaar, Alec Burleson, guys who could essentially be these pieces, but I don't necessarily see them as pillars to a franchise you'd want to build around. Jordan Walker was one of these top prospects that we really thought could be something. However, Walker hasn't really shown that he's as good of a prospect as he seemed to be when they originally drafted him and he was sitting in the minors, especially in single A, hitting over 300. Since then, he has regressed, somewhat of that due to injuries, and moved out to the right field simply because they have Nolan Arenado. And the question is whether or not Walker could end up being a core member to this team. That's a lot of what we're dealing with. For the past several years, the St. Louis Cardinals have moved on from guys who are now great starting pitchers and great prospects. We can look at Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen, who were part of the Marcell Ozuna trade that didn't end up working out for St. Louis. You can also look at Jack Flaherty, who revived himself after being traded, and then moved on to Detroit, where he had a really good season last year and eventually won a World Series with the Dodgers. Because of this, we don't have as much of a core to build around, and we're going to have to do that. This is going to be our first rebuild with the Franchise Fidelity to Reality rosters, a new updated set of rosters I never really got to take advantage of back in MLB 24, and I'm excited to take advantage of them this year. But that means that we're going to be able to see prospects and actually develop them in a different way than we have for our past two rebuilds, and I hope to actually be able to develop them. With these new rosters, that also means that we are going to take our time with the St. Louis Cardinals rebuild, as we're really trying to build a dynasty here and revive what the Cardinals used to be around some pillars. We are not going to attempt to replace a first baseman in free agency or a third baseman through trade, similar to how they rebuilt their last roster. In order to rebuild the Cardinals to their former glory, what I believe we need to do is find an ace starting pitcher, a stud Hall of Fame caliber catcher, an MVP caliber first baseman, and an all-star caliber third baseman. That means right now we don't have any of those players on the roster currently, besides potentially Ivan Herrera. This means we're going to build this through the draft. I don't want to do free agency. I don't want to do trades to build these unless we're trading for prospects, because I want us to home grow a true dynasty once again. We're going to be spending our time through the draft. We're going to be spending our time looking at prospects and developing players. And this is going to be a team that we're not going to be good right off the bat. Thankfully, the NL Central isn't the greatest, and we should be in a good position, especially once we see Paul Skeens inevitably no longer be on the Pirates because they are cheap. And so sit back, relax. This is going to be a nice long rebuild. I would say grab a snack, but we're probably going to be here longer than that. Take a nap while watching this video. I want to thank everybody for 2,000 subscribers, which we recently just hit, and we're going to continue grinding. This is going to be a nice, long, chill rebuild. We're going to spend a lot of time scouting, a lot of time developing players, and we're going to see what we can do here in St. Louis. And I hope you enjoy as we settle in. So 47 games into the season, Arenado is putting up a really good year. Actually, Arenado and Contreras are, and I think while we are only a couple games out of the division, if the goal is to eventually move on to rebuild, it's time to move on from Arenado, Wilson Contreras while they're playing very well. And so here's a process that I generally go through when I do my trades, especially when I'm looking at guys like this. Arenado is a contender, or he wants to be on a contender, and he's going to be expensive, meaning we have to trade him to a large market contender who can afford to pay him $100 million over the next 3 seasons. And so taking a look at standings, there's a few teams that fit that, I guess, demographic. The Los Angeles Dodgers, though, I think personally I refuse to make a trade to the Dodgers just because, no. The Mets, because they are also on the top, though I don't actually know if they have the money to afford a third baseman like Nolan Arenado. The Red Sox have no need for it, and nor do the Orioles, so they don't seem like good fits for him. The Guardians could, because Jose can move to second, just like the Royals could, but I don't necessarily know if they would spend the money for a third baseman. The Mariners or the Rangers thus then seem like the fit to me. With the Mariners being at the top, still needing some offense on this roster, they are a really good team that do need a third baseman to add to their roster. Essentially, that's kind of what I look like, and I'm not trading it in division. So we are going to go look and see if the Mariners, the Mets, or we could also look at the Rangers would be able to pull off a deal for Nolan Arenado. And while I didn't actually come up with a lot of offers, I kind of built this one myself. They offered me Locklear and Emerson Hancock, and I don't really feel like I want that deal, but I do kind of think Locklear could be a player. I actually like the idea of turning Ashton Izzy, I know he's also a C potential, but we'd have him for a lot longer. Ashton Izzy, their first round pick from 2022, to become a starting pitcher for us, and we can get another player out of this deal. So Nolan Arenado is going to be traded to the Seattle Mariners. The other player we're going to move off to a contender is Wilson Contreras. I understand that they just signed him to a deal, and I understand that realistically, that doesn't make a lot of sense to make a trade where you just sign a guy to an extension. However, I think if we were actually going to take them in a different direction, trying to rebuild from scratch, Contreras does not make a lot of sense to be on this team, especially knowing that we already have a catcher. And if he's going to be a first baseman, I don't know if he actually provides the value consistently enough to be considered an actual first baseman for us. I'm going to move him. We're not going to get much back. We're going to get a first baseman for this year in Ty France, who is currently doing pretty decent in AAA, who they're not playing in the leagues. And then 2 prospects, Dasan Hill and Demueri Pena. Demueri Pena, I believe it is. And while those prospects might not be much, generally I don't believe you get a lot of in return for prospects like this. So we could be getting, beaten in this deal, but I think that's okay. We're getting off of Contreras, which does give us money to spend in the offseason. And one more move we are going to make here. I think we could trade off Sonny Gray. I just don't think it actually makes sense. There's no real deal that could really piece together that one, but we can trade away Michaelis, who's in the last year of his deal, and I also think Helsley could be in the last year of his deal. And we're going to plunder the Diamondbacks in this for essentially a bunch of C potential starting pitchers. If any of them can turn into something that's good enough for us to be a pitcher 4 or a pitcher 5, or just something in between, maybe they're guys we will flip later on. Christian Mena, Dylan Ray, and Joe Elvis, they kind of are an experiment for me to see how much value walks per 9 actually has. If we can turn some C potential high walks per 9 pitchers into some value, I think that could be a really interesting experiment, essentially, if these guys could bring a lot of value to us. But that is our deal here. Michaelis and Helsley for Mena, Ray, and Elvis. Part of what that does to us is it makes us a lot younger, and I actually do see a lot more potential with this being the guys on the roster. Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar are both playing very, very well thus far. Herrera's playing well, and Jordan Walker is playing very well, is what we like to see. Wynn and Nolan Gorman are not the interior of our infield, but I think knowing that we have some core pieces here, I think Walker could be a third baseman for us if he continues to play at this level. Though, I mean, that fielding is still really, really bad. I could see this being something. So we're going to move into the offseason. I mean, we're going to scout, but we're going to move into this offseason now with a lot of money to work with, and we can actually build a good enough rotation. I'm hoping that within the draft we can do something, but this also will increase our draft odds. I don't want to be sitting at 77 wins and get pick 18. I want a top 10 pick. So that's probably where we'll be at. Let's get to the draft, though. There's a lot of actually really, really good prospects this year, and we have pick 5. Sadly, I don't believe any of them were really top tier at first base or third base, so we might be limited in not being able to get that position done today in this draft, but I do believe we'll still be able to get some key pieces for potential dynasty down the road. If we do get our way, Robbie Gooch is the top prospect, which is a great name. The Canadian second baseman. Sadly, he has no other secondary positions, but 85 to 95 potential, really good contact stats, really good vision discipline. This guy's going to be a stud, so he would be my top pick if I had the chance. The actual top prospect on our board is Luis Torrero, though, who does have a high walks per 9, is the number 1 on our board. Lower overall, meaning he will take a little while to probably develop, but with that 83 to 98 potential, being number 1 ranked, I do believe this will end up being a very, very good player. However, I am a little concerned by the hits per 9 and the Ks per 9. We actually are loaded by a lot of guys with the high contact stats, because Alejandro Maldonado is another one. Now, I would say he would be my third pick if I have a choice, simply because he can also play third base. He probably would end up being a third baseman for us. With Weatherholt and Mason Wynn in those positions. High contact, good vision discipline, could end up being a really good shortstop, or in our case, probably a third baseman. And then one prospect I really want to show is Gary Cannon. I really want to get him. 90 to 95 potential, 50 to like 55 to 60 overall. High vision, high discipline, high contact. I mean, this is going to be a perfect player if I am able to get him. So that is a definitely guy we might reach on. Looking at this, we were unable to get Robbie Gooch, so the question is between Luis Torrero as well as Alejandro Maldonado. There are some other guys too that we could look at on our board. I mean, the top third baseman is very interesting in Eloy Freitas, but he doesn't look like he has anything that makes him super special. Marcellus Vogel as well, but I think what we'll end up doing, simply because I do think it is the best pick and it just makes the most sense for us to do, is we're going to go Alejandro Maldonado. If Torrero is available with that second pick, we will take him, and then we will take Cannon with our third. So we'll see what we can do, but Maldonado is going to be our first round pick. At the All-Star break, we're surprisingly 48 and 49, still being competitive. I mean, we traded away a lot of guys, and we're actually putting together a pretty good team this year, even by getting rid of Arenado and Wilson Contreras, who are both hitting around 300. I mean, our offense has been really good if we are sitting at 265. Somehow, though, Alec Burleson is our All-Star with 16 home runs, hitting 242. Don't feel like he's our best player. I think Newt got snubbed. Like 100% Newt Bar got snubbed. Newt Bar's hitting 317 with a 420 on base. He has more home runs. He's just been better than Burleson. What was that pick, MLB, to pick Newt Bar? In fact, why didn't you pick Brendan Donovan, who's hitting 297, 37? He's putting together a good season. And then you also, I know that Jordan Walker has put together a pretty good year. A lot of guys have been better than Burleson. Why was Burleson our all-star? Whatever. I'd say we did pretty well in this draft. Alejandro Maldonado, 91 potential, 85 to 95 high contact, great shortstop, also could be a third baseman for us. Doesn't really have much of an arm, but he is probably our cornerstone third baseman that we can build around. Gary Cannon, amazing pick. Glad we scouted him, saw him as a 94, ranked 94th. This is our future second baseman, no doubt. I'm happy. I'm almost happy that we didn't get Gooch then, because Gary Cannon and Gooch couldn't have played at the same time, because this guy is going to be amazing. Cannon will probably be one of the best players I scouted. Foster Heath is a 99 potential at first baseman. So when we talked about trying to get a cornerstone first baseman, we found one in Foster Heath. Now he's far away. He won't be here for a while, so I guess we will be here for a long time in this rebuild. Foster Heath, 54 overall right now, 99 potential. We also have Matthew Ono, who is also a 91 potential at first base, though he's a 46. He'll never get there because he's already age 21. And then we had 3 extra picks and hit decently on those guys. So we have a core infield. Maldonado at third, Cannon at second, Foster Heath at first. Heath is going to take a while to get here, so we're probably going to need another first baseman in the meantime. But once he gets here, I am really excited to see what this dude can be. And Luis Torrero was still a good pick, no doubt. 91 potential at starting pitcher, high walks per 9. Those hits per 9 and Ks per 9 are pretty low, so I think we made a good decision with Maldonado over Torrero. And the Mariners were able to get Robbie Gooch. He is going to be a stud for them at second baseman. He's going to be really, really good. Can't play any other positions, but they got a really good player there. So I'm really happy with our draft. Even though we weren't able to get Gooch, I don't really think we made any mistakes. We got, with Foster Heath and Gary Cannon, we made amazing decisions. We got our 3rd, our 6th, and our 7th guy on our board. So I'll take it. It's September, and we're still only 5 games out of the National League Central, which puts us, 4.5 out of the out of the wild card. Didn't expect to still be here. I kind of hope we don't play that well for the second half, for this last month of the season, just so I can get a higher pick. But I'm surprised that we made those moves and this team has still been this good. So I almost want to expect then that next season we're just going to be awful because they're outplaying themselves right now. I couldn't imagine a worse result. 81-81 and missed the playoffs. That's really going to hurt us. That was kind of what we were avoiding. But of course, we beat the Cubs 3 games in a row, and we went on a 4-game win streak to end the season. Went really, really good to end the season. Why in the last week did we have to win 6 of our last 7? But okay, how did that actually help us in the rest of the standings? Oh, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Just outside? Yeah, no thanks. Why did we have to be good here? If we don't win those games, we're down here, maybe around the Giants. If we look at the AL wild card. Yeah, I said I didn't want to win 77 games. We won more than that. But I guess, good season means we'll at least have some player development. Your award winners, the MVP in the NL goes to Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves. 45 home runs, 125 RBIs, Shohei in second. Jackson Chourio in third with 41 home runs. Really good for him. Shohei wins the Cy Young with 210 strikeouts. And oh my God, Strider had 279. Very good for him, but the wins will help with Shohei Ohtani. On the AL side, Corey Seager wins the MVP with the Texas Rangers, hitting 44 home runs, 122 RBIs. And your Cy Young goes to Jacob deGrom, who has a 2.13 and 2. Wow. Great season from deGrom. We had no league leaders, but in the NL side, Jeff McNeil is back, and he hit 329 after 2 bad years in a row. He gets the batting title in the NL. Doesn't lead in hits, though did have 200, as Trey Turner gets 209. And your home run leader was Matt Olson with 47. And I see 3 Braves in the top 4, so they must have had a very, very good season. David Bednar wins the save crown with 48 saves, tied, though, with Edwin Diaz and Tanner Scott of the Mets and the Dodgers, respectively. Your ERA crown goes to Nestor Cortez. That's not realistic. And then you have yourself with strikeouts. Like we said, Spencer Strider with 279. On the AL side, Corey Seager leads and wins the batting title with 324 batting average and also 199 hits, beating out Bobby Witt by 1 in that department. Your home run leader was Yordan Alvarez with 46. On the AL side, Griffin Jax comes away with the save crown with 52 saves, so they must have had him close instead of Yohan Duran. And then your ERA crown, Jacob deGrom, who did win the Cy Young, and he also had the strikeout lead. I don't believe he had the most wins, so he didn't get a triple crown, but was very, very good this season. And, Cy Young, Jacob deGrom, he's back, baby. First, to take a look at who we had, they did send down Christian Mena after I brought him up. He had a 4.38 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Nothing great, but I think for a rookie season, which I don't know if it's going to classify as because I don't know if he got enough innings, will end up being, decent. He had over 0 WAR, I guess we'll take for a replacement pitcher. Our actual rotation saw Liberatore with an 8.5 ERA in only 12 innings, but wow. Romero at a 2.84, 107 whip, pretty good. Matten 4.96, not good. Zach Thompson 4.44, not good. Roycroft was pretty good, brought him up after making all the trades, not that bad. We saw Ryan Fernandez with a 4. Tekoa Roby came up 174.87 whip, like to see that. And Palante, I think, is a nice long-term closer. We have a couple years arbitration. He will be our closer. I think we got something good back for Helsley then. And then Sonny Gray, 4.23. He was somebody who I was unable to trade, and I did get some trade offers back. But at this point, I feel like this is a, Chris Bryant situation. This is a terrible contract. Nobody would take this. If he is going to pitch at this level, nobody would take this contract. So we're going to be stuck with Sonny Gray's contract for now. Fetty was pretty good, and then Tink Hence was mediocre this rookie season. McGreevy with a 4.05 was okay, and Matz was mediocre as well. Nothing real special here. Fetty was our best pitcher in the rotation. Lineup wise, we have on the bench Lucan Baker, not enough at bats to really have enough of a say. Victor Scott in 173 at bats, hit 237, not bad. Jose Fermin, not good in his 25. In 288 bats, Ciani was pretty good as well, getting a 250 average. Mason Wynn hit 259 this season with 10 home runs. Jordan Walker, 284 with 29 home runs. I do see him as being a good starter, whether that be in the outfield or at third base for us. Probably at third until we get our shortstop to come up in Maldonado. Nootbaar, honestly, probably one of the best players that we have out on the team this year. We should sign him to an extension, but I don't necessarily know how much he will develop, or I think we could pay him. Burleson was our all-star, didn't really deserve it, but he did get 24 home runs, so he didn't have a terrible season. Ty France is our replacement first baseman, wasn't that great. Nolan Gorman was really bad. Sagesi was not good either, and Pajes was okay, actually. As a backup catcher, he had to take the role because I believe Herrera did get injured at the end of the season. I have to look at our injured list to see Herrera. Yes, dislocated shoulder, though he was pretty good as well. 251, 335 on base percentage. I like to see it. Ivan Herrera is a core member of this team. Sadly, he did just have a injury at the end of the season that ended his season. Your playoffs ends with the Red Sox defeating the Brewers in the 2025 World Series. Interesting World Series. If we just take a look at the playoffs, did we help anybody? Arenado did get to Game 7 of the ALCS, so good for him, though they could not pull it out against Boston, who did sweep the Brewers. So I think in our trades, Seattle's pretty happy with what they got. I think Arizona's pretty happy with what they got too. So let's go into the offseason, see what free agents we can get to make some moves. We're not going to make big moves for a first baseman now, especially that we have Foster Heath. We're just looking at a replacement for a little while. Some placeholder at first base until Heath is ready, and then a couple other placeholders around, mainly in the starting rotation, because our pitching rotation needs some help now. And we get Zach Littell as our starting pitcher. We weren't going to go real big this offseason. There's not a lot of really big players, and I don't want to sacrifice our first round or our draft picks, especially when we are not a good team. So first guy, top guy on the board that didn't have a qualifying offer, Littell should end up being a decent player, and we got him pretty cheap. And we retain Eric Fetty. It's a little expensive, but for 2 years, not that bad. Somebody else did offer him first. I just had to make the offer to make sure to be able to keep Fetty. we didn't make a lot of moves this offseason. I think everything we did was just meant to kind of, I guess, roll over for another season and wait, get some placeholder players as we move on to trying to get into the era with the guys that we have drafted. Though we did make some moves, I think you'll see that mainly within the pitching rotation as we brought in Zach Littell. We have Sonny Gray still here. I don't know how much longer he will last. And then we have Fetty back. I'm actually going to make Fetty the starter for the beginning of the season. And then we brought up, I guess, we're going to have Roby up as well. I do think that Quinn Matthews could come up this offseason, but I'm not necessarily certain, or not offseason, but this season. But I need to wait and actually see what he can do before we do that. Drew Rom, Graceffo, a lot of these other guys are in that same boat. And we're just going to see which pitcher ends up disappointing us, as we pretty much brought everybody back. And then we brought in Josh Spores off the Rule 5. When it comes to the lineup, which I haven't really set yet, so I haven't moved and put Herrera into his spot yet. We did go and get two different first basemen. Lamont Wade being the primary one that we brought in. Had to pay him a little bit. He did get another offer from another team, but for a temporary first baseman, not bad. And then Jonah Bride is another one who I got a way better deal on at first base, second and third. I like his on-base percentage and his ability to get on base, so he could be another guy that could be a good first baseman or DH, especially when I don't necessarily know what else we have here. Got a lot of lefties, and I think that this team is still a little weak and thin. My guess is that we are going to be a massive disappointment this year after how well they played last year, but I'm not that worried about that. We don't really have any guys we have to trade away. We don't have a lot of guys that we need to worry about. They just need some development from our players. Hopefully we can see that out of Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker. I believe I did get Newt Barr to an extension, which is what I wanted to see. So we'll see what we can do this season. I don't expect it to be a playoff team, but we overperformed last year. Maybe we can overperform this year. Quinn Matthews is pitching very, very well in AAA, so I think it's about time we bring him up. Now, the problem is we don't have room on our 40-man, and he's not on it. So I think I'm going to have to make a quick trade just to get some assets back for somebody, because I want to bring Quinn Matthews up, and we need a spot for him. We don't have one right now. But I actually thought of a better idea. I think he's done. At least playing 4.33, 1.42 whip. He does not bring me any value anymore. I know he's technically a positive player. We are going to DFA Sonny Gray. Maybe we'll get somebody to pick him up. Probably not. But that should give us a roster spot to bring up Quinn Matthews. To say this draft is a disappointing look would be an understatement on how bad this draft actually looks. When I have went through so far on the players and scouted, I felt like, and this happens for anybody who is actually doing rebuilds, you'll find that some drafts you just can't find a good player. And I felt like within this draft, there just wasn't one. At any point, I couldn't really find one. But that helped me kind of lean more back to the starting pitching method that we used with the Blue Jays rebuild. And so there are some players that could be interesting if they fall to us. Jeff Olivares of the Dominican Republic is probably this type of pitcher. 84 to 99 potential. This could be a 99 potential starting pitcher. He doesn't have a lot of traits that are like high value, but he could be generational. And so that is a starting pitcher we would look at. The top prospect actually on the board is Jay Montenegro, the second baseman out of Ohio. 84 to 94 potential, 67 to 77 overall, all around good player, good defensively. He's a good player. He won't be there by the time we get to him. And so the top position player that I believe that we could get is Jared Johnson. I don't actually see a lot of value in him, though. So this might be a draft where I take 6 straight starting pitchers. We'll see what we can get, but that's probably what will be on the board. And the draft has made it easy for us. They have taken all of the position players that looked good on the board. And so, as you can see, our draft board is all pitchers. Now, because of this, I guess I have to kind of weigh which ones I think would have more value for me. And I could see that being a couple of these guys. But I think what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to take the safe pick. And we're just going to take Olivares with the first pick. And let's see what else we can get. He could be generational. I don't necessarily like his stats, but I mean, he's 84 to 99 potential. He's a starting pitcher that could be really valuable to us. So, Jeff Oliveros, welcome to St. Louis. And so here at the All-Star break, we are sitting at 45 and 52, kind of where we want to be, near the bottom of the NL. This is a season that we are attempting to be bad, simply because I don't think we're ready yet, and I think that with a lot of the guys that we now have put in place, we need to wait a little bit longer. And we've been bad. 45 and 52, we have a 3.99 ERA, not a great pitching staff, decent average compared to the people around us, but yeah, our pitching is not really that good. Honestly, it's funny, we're 45 and 52, and we are still 5 runs above, have a positive run differential. So I'll take it. Offensively, that means we've been pretty good so far. We just need better pitching, which we know that. But don't tell Zach Littell that, because he is going to be the All-Star Game starter here for us. He is 12 and 2, 236, .99 whip right now. In his starts, we win. Everybody else's, we lose. So that's pretty nice. I mean, that means that he's probably in the Cy Young competition this early in the season. I love to see that. And then we have another All-Star starter, and that is Ivan Herrera, his catcher, who's hitting 300 this season, has 15 home runs. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good lineup of 2 guys to be your starters in the All-Star game. I think we found ourselves a pitching rotation. Almost an entire pitching rotation here. Oliveros 92 potential, Velasco 89, Rodriguez 89, Carlton 93. It looks like Velasco will probably end up being the actual best pitcher out of these as I look at like the ratings that they have, and he starts better, but not bad in our last picks, which there just wasn't anything else. 74 potential starting pitcher, not that bad. And Brent Rodriguez. Eric Sullivan was somebody who I scouted last year and was still available. All right. Oh wow, I got a buy order. And then Ozzy Quintero, reliever, 76 potential. Want to see what like Montenegro was. Yeah, Montenegro's pretty good. Think we ended up being fine though with our pick. We'll have some starters now. Though I do want to show this guy. 95 potential reliever. He already has good hits per 9, good Ks per 9, good home runs per 9. Walk per 9 is pretty bad, but Arden Schaefer. I feel like we should keep an eye out on him because he's probably going to end up being very, very good for the Cubs in our division. Somehow 79 and 83. Once again, I'm trying to be bad. They can't be bad. This team is not good enough to be bad. It's not bad enough to be good, but it's not. I'm talking in circles. Your MVP is Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves. They have Shohei in second and Jurickson Profar of the Braves in third. The Braves are a stacked team, and they get their third different MVP of the 2020s, with Matt Olson winning this one. Cy Young goes to Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who goes 16 and 5. I do believe Quinn Matthews loses out on the Rookie of the Year, and I'd say he deserves it over Pablo Rivera, but hey, you know what? We don't get it. That sucks because I think that means we lose draft picks because we don't get an award there. But on the American League side, you see Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox wins the MVP, and your Cy Young is Joe Ryan of the Minnesota Twins. In the NL, your league leaders are Xavier Edwards, hits 331 to get the batting title for the Miami Marlins. Does not lead in hits, though. That is Bo Bichette of the Atlanta Braves because, yeah, of course the Braves got Bo Bichette. When it comes to home runs, your leader was Matt Olson of the Braves. Saves goes to Ryan Helsley of the Diamondbacks with 56 saves. I think they really capitalized on that deal. ERA crown goes to Corbin Burns of the Diamondbacks, the 2.59 ERA. And your strikeout leader was Spencer Strider of the Braves. The batting title in the AL goes to Chase Meadroth. I've never heard of this guy. 4th round pick in 2022. Those are some crazy, overalls. Apparently, this dude's a stud. Okay. Chase Meadroth of the White Sox hits 318. Yandy Diaz was right behind him. Hits leader is Nolan Schanuel of the Angels. That's also very interesting numbers. And your home run leader is Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. Saves leader is Fernando Cruz of the New York Yankees with 47 saves. ERA crown goes to Tarek Skubal. Thanks for the comments, by the way, for the pronunciation. And then when it comes down to strikeouts, it was Garrett Cole of the New York Yankees. Christian Mena got sent down again, and it seems like deservedly so. He had a 5.67 ERA. I don't think he's pitching again, for us at least, not for a while. We'll be sending him down in the future seasons. I don't know if anybody else got sent down for us, just John King, who only came up for one opportunity. When it comes to the actual Major League, Tekoa Roby, 3 ERA, only 18 innings pitched, though. Liberatore didn't actually play. 4.2 for Jojo Romero. 2.71 and the 1.12 for Chris Roycroft. Very, very good for him. I kind of like him so far. Enyel De Los Santos was a waiver wire pickup. 3.76 ERA, 1.2 WHIP was pretty good. 3.74 for Ryan Fernandez. Zach Thompson, a 3.8. And Andre Palante was very, very good. And I signed him to an extremely long extension because he is going to be our closer of the future. When it comes to the starting rotation, Fetty was kind of mediocre, 4.1 ERA with a 1.27 WHIP. Littell, the All-Star Game starter, was very good this season, 3.04 ERA with a 1.12 WHIP. Tink Hence, kind of mediocre. He went 8-17, lost a lot of games. 4.3 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. McGreevy, 3.9, not that bad. And Quinn Matthews, 2.26, 1.08 WHIP. I wonder if we bring him up earlier if he gets that Rookie of the Year. So that might be on us for not bringing him up as early as we could have. Because, he 3 WAR this season in a very limited time and only 115 innings. I mean, that's a stud for us. That might be our ace going into next season. The game sent down Michael Ciani, who had a 276 average, but doesn't really get on base much, but still was pretty good as a bench bat. Locklear we brought back up again. I mean, he's okay, but nothing really crazy there. Our bench had Victor Scott here, 225 average. Nothing great. Pedro Pajes is still a very good backup catcher. Sagesi was not good at second base. 206 average in his 252 at-bats. Not really good. Brendan Donovan at a leadoff was a 272 average with 19 home runs. So about what he did last year, just a little bit worse. Ivan Herrera in the second lineup spot hit 303 with 24 home runs. He had 145 games as we did DH him on games he was not playing catcher. And this is something I mentioned in previous rebuilds, something I want to do. He's so good that I want to be able to do that, have him play catcher, have him DH as well, because I think this dude is a stud. We signed him to an extremely long contract extension, so he spent the rest of his career in St. Louis. Newt Barr hit 260, 25 home runs, 251 and 23 home runs for Mason Wynn. Jordan Walker hit 277 with only 19 home runs this year, so a down year compared to last year, especially in the power department, but not too bad. Jose Fermin came up in DH because Lamont Wade got injured. Gorman hit 258. Jonah Bride, 250, 21 home runs at first base in DH. At one point this season, he was hitting 330. Mediocre WAR because he's not really a great defensive player. I mean, he's decent, but okay. And then 239 average. I do want to look quick at our injured list to check Lamont Wade, who broke his arm, who hit 249, 354 average, 20 home runs as well. So he was also decent at first base, 2.5 WAR as a better defensive first baseman. But we missed the playoffs at 79 and 83. So as we sim our postseason, I just want to sim the postseason. The Reds defeat the Rangers as our division opponents have now made it to 2 straight. The Brewers lost last year and the Reds win this year. The Reds defeating the Rangers in the 2026 World Series. I'm curious who won the awards for that. World Series MVP Christian Encarnacion. Last year it was Christian Campbell of the Red Sox. Encarnacion was postseason MVP. Yelich was for the Brewers last year, and American League was Corey Seager for the postseason MVP. So our division's getting tougher because I guess the Reds just got a World Series already on us. So note here, I actually went another season and recorded Garrett Crochet after we signed him, but he just signed an extension with the Red Sox, and just due to the timing of the video, I don't feel like it would be appropriate to sign Crochet and try to claim this as being realistic if he's going to be a Red Sox. Sadly, he will sign with somebody else because I can't make him sign with the Red Sox now, but this is the same point I had, so we went back to this. I also will not be getting Scooble either, just because that doesn't feel realistic either to me, so we'll find somebody else to pick up. But Crochet signed an extension, so roster's a little out of date. That obviously just happened while I was recording. We're also going to trade away Thomas Sajasi. I know I've been pronouncing his name wrong the whole time, but I think after a 206 average season and just getting worse, I'm not really confident in him being able to produce much, and we have the roster spots. I need to actually clear space because Gary Cannon is already right there. So we need to start making some room on the 40-man for players because we just have a lot of decent prospects. So you might see me starting to trade away some of these guys. I might not show all of them, but I wanted to show one of the bigger ones before we end up doing this. I'm going to start trading away a lot of these lower tier guys on the 40-man because I don't necessarily think we can afford to have them all, which I guess is a really Cardinals thing to do. So we're trading to the Yankees for 2 prospects that are not going to be on our 40-man. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm just coasting here because I don't necessarily know if we actually have a very good roster going into 2027. I like Fetty. I like Littell. I really like Quinn Matthews so much that I gave him an extension early because I wanted to make sure that we had him cheap later on when we had to pay everybody else because I really like what he did last year. In fact, he's going to jump right up to near the top of that lineup. I don't know if I want to have him be the opening day starter, but this is the rotation for me for now. We did bring up Drew Rom. We sent back down Christian Mena. I brought in Joel Payamps with the hope that he will end up being a good reliever for us for a couple years. Got him to a pretty cheap deal. 3 years, 15. Not bad for a relief pitcher. But when it comes to the lineup, I think the one thing with that we're looking at is we're bringing up some of these some of these outfielders. Victor Scott is up. I mean, Victor Scott was up, but brought up. I had Chase Davis up. I just sent him back down. I think we are right on the edge of seeing especially Weatherholt be up. I don't have him on the 40-man yet, so I just kind of want to wait. I realize he's been sitting in AA, not AAA. We have a lot of shortstops. Padilla, Weatherholt, Maldonado. Thankfully, Maldonado can play third, and I guess the other guys can also play second. But because we have Mason Wynn at short, so it's going to end up being a little bit of a debate of which one ends up. I think Maldonado is going to move to third once we bring him in, but he just is not good enough defensively yet. I think for us to say, oh, he could really be a third baseman, whereas Padilla is. And Padilla, I think, went up. And so we're in a position where I think we have a lot of guys that are right on the edge of being there. And then in AA, we have Gary Cannon, who is not going to be a good defensive second baseman, but will be a stud once he gets up because of the bat. Might be a DH for us. I like to see what we have. Foster Heath is already up to a 62. So he's probably got like 2 years left. I think we'll probably run out the Jonah Bride contract, and that's when he'll come up. Whenever Jonah Bride's done is when Foster Heath will take that spot. So this will be a little while. We are still going to take our time. I think we're going to spend a lot of time in the draft. We have pick 13 this year. Did not get a top pick. Lottery has not protected us very much because, well, we're just a little bit too good. I have a feeling that at some point that luck's going to run out, but I don't know. Offensively, this team looks like it should be pretty good. It's just a question of whether they can be consistent. I hope that we can put together something this year. I like the team, but I don't think it's like a World Series contender. Maybe it's a wild card contender. We'll see. I'll see you at the draft. I'm not making this mistake 2 seasons in a row. Weatherholt is playing absolutely amazing so far to start off the season in AAA. We are going to add him to the 40-man, and we are going to call him up to the major leagues because I want him to get a chance to actually win Rookie of the Year like Quinn Matthews did not. And Mason Wynn is playing absolutely awful so far to start the year. I don't know who I'm going to send down. I mean, look at Nolan Gorman had 16 home runs and Fermin's hitting 341. Like, who do I send down? I'll probably send down one of the outfielders. We'll just look at sending down, I don't know, Ciani. Oh, and We'll see, figure out like the lineup. I guess, yeah, I guess we can send down Siani. I guess that's the only one that really makes sense. But we're going to make some room for Weatherholt in the lineup because he's playing too well to not try to take advantage of it. And see if we can get him a Rookie of the Year. Going into this draft, I'm a little concerned because I'm not necessarily certain that there's a lot of really, really good pitchers. The top end of the draft is this starting pitcher, Mariano Rivera. I don't think he's going to be available for me. I hope he's wearing number 42 whenever he gets drafted. But looks very, very good stud pitcher. I don't think there's a lot of really top-tier talent, though, in this draft. Rich Reese is also a stud pitcher, but he probably will be gone. I think there's a lot more pitching in this draft. I didn't see a lot of really good position players. This is also going to be one of those drafts where then I'm probably unlucky and there's just a bunch of position players I missed somewhere in the middle range. Because I got a lot more position players that look like Jason Leahy right here. 82 to 87 potential, 75 to 80 overall, decent player, good defensively. Not a lot of really good bats on this end, where I saw more defense if they had higher potential. Or if they had a good bat, they had lower potential like Israel Julio. I mean, that's an amazing looking bat, but I doubt that this guy's actually that good. Still might take him. I don't know who's going to be available at 13. They're like all available. Maybe I scouted wrong. But I don't see how I can pass up on Mariano Rivera. Like, it's funny because I actually think Parker Hurst might be better, but you can't pass that up. I'm drafting Mariano Rivera to be part of this Cardinals team. At the All-Star break, we are winning our division by 5 games, though we only have a 2-game run differential. We actually have not looked that great this season, but our benefit is that the NL Central just doesn't look that great entirely. So we do have the lead here, but I don't know how long that will last. Maybe we can make a move at the deadline, but I don't want to sell a lot. We have a couple prospects that I'd be willing to move off of if I can find a good deal at the deadline to compete for this division, which we will do so if I can, but I need to see what moves we can make first. We have an all-star catcher in Ivan Herrera, who has 10 home runs right now, hitting .264, so he is having a down year comparatively. Wow. William Contreras is dominating in this division. And then I don't think we have any others. I don't believe that we would, which is funny because we are a competitive team, but yeah, no other all-stars for us. The deal we're going to make is for Luis Castillo. He's in the last year of his deal with the Mariners, who are in last place in the AL West. I think this is a great expiring deal. We can probably make some moves getting off of, we're going to move off Christian Mena, who was a prospect that we brought in. Wasn't very, very good for us, and I do think we need more pitching for him. We're also going to get off 2 other prospects we've traded for in Demueri Pena and Diego De Jesus, who are both good prospects, but I think that going for attempting to at least contend for the division this year makes sense, and Luis Castillo is the perfect guy to do that, knowing that he is in the last year of his deal. And Mariano Rivera was not that good. 83 potential meant that he might have even been outside of his range. Below. I think I experimented a little bit with my scouts this season, trying to find more discovery guys, just because I haven't really done much of that, and not seeing a lot of top-end talent. I was like, oh, we could do more discovery to try to do a little bit better in this draft. And I don't know if we really did top-end. I mean, these are decent pitchers, but none of them are really worth, a top-end pick. Funnily enough, while it may look like the guys at the bottom, this 94 potential Cameron Harris, 86 in Oliver Guerrero, 89 in Benji Rasmussen, not a single one of those were guys I did with normal discovery. Those are just guys I randomly picked out of a hat to draft when I had no guys left. So I'm not sure if discovery is necessarily a good technique for scouting. I feel like it made me worse. Which is funny because I still think this is a good draft. But maybe not, because if this was the guy I wanted to draft, the other guy, Israel Julio, I mean, he wasn't good either. Maybe it was just a bad draft, and that just made Rivera look really good at the top end because this was not a good draft. I mean, Jason Leahy, 63 potential. This dude's a bust. Scouted 75 to 80, actual 63. Yeah, I think this just was a bad draft here. 92 and 70, we win our division. taking on the Padres in the division series. I mean, this Cardinals team kind of outplays their overall consistently. I actually really like to see that. That means that there's either some players on here that are good, or there's some things I'm not valuing as much, because based on what I normally expect, this Cardinals team shouldn't be as good as they are. But 92-70, we win our division. I mean, I guess it helps that the NL Central's not good, but we win our division. We'll take on the Padres. And we do have an award winner. JJ Weatherholt wins the Rookie of the Year. Glad we called him up when we did. Knew that that was going to be a big piece to, I think, this season. It's a mistake we made last year. We made up for it by not making the same mistake this year with Weatherholt. And I'm wondering if we have to do the same thing as soon as we bring up Maldonado and all of that. It's going to get a little cramped on this roster very soon here. But Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP in the National League, hitting .343 with 57 home runs. Cy Young goes to Spencer Strider, who had 233 strikeouts this season. Castillo did finish second in the Cy Young. He went 16-2, 3.11 ERA. Big piece. I'm glad that we made the move for him. Honestly, he didn't look like he was in that race when we made the trade for him, but phenomenal way to end it. I guess he must have won every start for us after we got him. On the AL side, Aaron Judge wins the MVP for the New York Yankees, 47 home runs, 124 RBIs, and with Pablo Lopez finishing second in the MVP, he obviously wins the Cy Young with a 2.52 ERA and 210 strikeouts. We did have some league leaders. Looks like Luis Castillo and Andre Palante led the way for pitching. But on the NL side, if we take a look at hitting first, we have Shohei Ohtani getting the batting title with a .343 average. Soto right behind. Actually, a lot of guys hit over 300 this season, but none of them were ours. 222 hits for Shohei Ohtani on the way to just a phenomenal season for him across the board. Also getting the home run crown and the RBI, meaning that he does win the Triple Crown in the NL. And for pitching, Palante led the way in saves, just like we saw, with 52 saves. It was a great move, honestly, to move on from Helsley, who I know has been phenomenal as well, but Palante is very, very good for us. ERA crown goes to Kyle Harrison of the San Francisco Giants, with Castillo right behind him. And your strikeout leader was Jared Jones of the Pirates. On the AL side, Travis Bazzana wins the batting title again, with Midroth right behind him again. Okay, so this guy is good. I might have to look at him for future rebuilds. Chase Midroth, or I've never heard of him before, but consistently really, really good. Definitely somebody to take a look out in your own rebuilds. Jarren Duran leads with hits for the Red Sox. Your home run crown goes to Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. Saves leader in the AL is Mason Miller of the A's with 51 saves. ERA crown goes to Pablo Lopez with the 2.52. And the strikeout leader is also Pablo Lopez. And was he the wins leader too? I believe so. Pablo Lopez, therefore, gets the Triple Crown in the AL. I can say with certainty I wasn't necessarily happy with the majority of our bullpen. I think our pitching rotation is kind of weak, and Kyle Leahy was decent, 342. He did get sent down, 116 whip. Roycroft got sent down, 424, 126 whip. I mean, that's kind of a thing I've noticed. I don't necessarily know how consistent this team is. We have some guys that are good, some that are not. Drew Rahm was pretty good this year, so finally one of the pieces to any of their trades have come up and been somewhat productive. I mean, does he even have positive WAR, though? He does. 1.7 WAR in the bullpen. Not bad. Liberatore's terrible. I think I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to pay him whatever he gets from arbitration. Hence, not good. Piamps was kind of mediocre, but still pretty cheap. Fernandez was good. 311, 11 whip. Takeo Roby was very good. 277, 118 whip in his rookie season. I mean, I guess his official rookie season. They called it this year, which is crazy. He was pretty good. 309, and then Palante led the way for closers with saves. So pretty good there. Quinn Matthews, 403 ERA, down compared to what he was last year. Pitched 192 innings. I mean, WAR-wise was worse than he was last year. So he had a worse season than he did last year. Kind of disappointing in that remark. Fetty did improve back up to a 3.89, but a bad whip there. McGreevy, not good. Littell was okay. And then Castillo was in the Cy Young race. I'm not very confident in a lot of the pitching. I think Quinn Matthews should have a bounce back year next year. But I think Fetty's done for us. I think he will be a free agent. I guess Littell still has 2 years. He'll still be here. But I think we need some other pitching. I'm not certain that I think any of our AAA guys are ready to take any of these spots. So Jerby doesn't look ready. Graceffo doesn't look ready. So we might have a little bit of some issues in the pitching rotation going into next season. Lineups might be the same because Burleson is down to a 219 average. I mean, this is a negative 3.5 WAR season. Negative 3.5 WAR. Honestly, it's on me for not even getting rid of him. He's been terrible. He is one of the worst players in all of baseball, and has been consistently. And I didn't get rid of him because I saw these home run numbers and I was like, oh, well, that's decent. That's good enough because he's hitting for power. But yikes, he's got to go. He's got to go. But I guess other guys that we have down here, Ciani is sent down 250. I mean, I got to check the WAR for him too. He would have been better. He just would have been better to have out there than Burleson, who definitely needs to go. When it comes to the lineup, Mason Wynn did get his stuff back up, but he started off so badly we never really gave him a full shot to take his position back, simply because Weatherholt was good this year. And so, I mean, Wynn was 2 WAR, decent from a shortstop. I guess technically ended up being better than what he was last year, but he's still not even over 800 OPS, which is kind of mediocre. Fermin was pretty good on the bench. Victor Scott was mediocre. Pages was okay this season. I think he's going to be done here. I'm probably going to have to trade him just because we have so many other catchers that are on their way. Brendan Donovan leading off this season, 284, 784. I almost have to check the WAR now because that Burleson number threw me off so much. Ivan Herrera was pretty good. We did move him back to just catcher because I needed some extra room, but was good this year. Not as good as he was last year, but still very good. Jonah Bride, 20 home runs this season. Love to see it. He's been pretty consistently a good player. Gorman hit terribly, but hit 32 home runs. Really fell off in the second half of the season compared to where he was at the beginning. Lamont Wade, 293, 12 home runs. And Jordan Walker is back down to being a below 800 OPS player again and a negative WAR. Weatherholt was good, 1 Rookie of the Year. And then Newt Barr, what's the WAR? Please don't tell me this is backfired too. 2.5, okay. So Newt Barr has been okay. But we have what? How many guys do we have even with an 800 plus OPS? Like Herrera? Does Donovan have over? No. It's not very good. It's not very good. Offensively, we need our guys to come up. I mean, look at Gary Cannon, Foster Heath are at 70 and 70 respectively. I think when we look at shortstop, oh, that's in AA. When we look at shortstop, Maldonado here is at 71. The offense is going to need a little bit of a shuffle, I think, this upcoming season. But first, we have to get through the playoffs, so let's get to the playoffs. And so, as we look at our playoff push here against the Padres to start 3-game series, we're going to go Castillo, then Matthews, and then Littell. Hopefully, that'll be enough to get us through the Padres, though I know they have Zach Gallen as their starter. Game 1, Castillo does pull that one off, a 5-4 victory. Quinn Matthews in Game 2, we can send the Padres right home. We are unable to do so. So Game 3, Littell versus Jordan Montgomery. We do win that one. We will be taking on the Dodgers the next day. So I guess Fetty's going to have to go here against Shohei Ohtani. We are significant underdogs in this matchup. We lose that first game. Zach Thompson loses that one later on. We are down 0-1. McGreevy versus Sasaki. We win that one. Sasaki blows that one up. We are 1-1, and we get to go to the top of our rotation for these last 3 games. I mean, it's still the Dodgers. Castillo versus Snell. We lose that one 2-3. This is win or go home. Quinn Matthews to Shohei Ohtani. We lose that one. We are going home. And as we sim the postseason, the Mets defeat the A's in the World Series. What? How did the A's get there? Jeff McNeil wins World Series MVP. Postseason MVP is Juan Soto. Brent Rooker was postseason MVP on the A's side. That was a 7-game series. Can I look at the games played? Like, I wish I could look at what happened Oh, I guess I could do this. No, I can't. How do I look at the games? I wish I could do this. How? I guess I cannot. I want to see how that happened. But I cannot. 7 games. Or maybe if I can. This is not something that I've ever done. I've just never seen that happen. I'm shocked that the A's made it that far. What am I talking about? The A's were the 1 seed. What was this team? The A's were the 1 seed? They won 91 games? Okay. All right, never mind. I'm thinking the A's are underdogs. Apparently they were the 1 seed. Brain don't work. Okay. Well, all right. Let's get into the shuffle this offseason. We're going to have to make some changes. Realistically, I feel like I need to kind of get fleeced in a deal. I guess in Mlbtheshow context because of the Alec Burleson just war thing. So I'm going to trade him for a starting pitcher that the White Sox would otherwise cut. Simply just so I can have him. So we're going to get Sean Burke. Basically just to get off of Burleson. And maybe Sean Burke can start for us because we do need pitching. Coming off winning the division last year and winning the wild card, we are going into 2028 with a slightly different roster look. Though I didn't make a whole lot of changes, I was starting to think about what players we are going to be keeping, what players need to be moving on, and we made some moves in order to be able to do so. The big thing that starts off is our pitching rotation is going to look a lot different this year. Quinn Matthews is going to be our ace at the top of the lineup, but we brought in Joe Ryan on a 4-year deal. We got him for $15 million per, so 4-year, $60 million deal. Not too bad. I'm hoping he can be as productive as he normally is with the Minnesota Twins for us. Though I normally see him fall off pretty early, I like what I can normally get out of Joe Ryan, so that's not a bad move for us. Ronaldo Lopez, I got for a 1-year deal. I could have got him for 2, but I figured that we are going to need the room for some of the other guys, so 1 year, $13 million for Ronaldo Lopez to be pitcher number 3, with Littell and Hentz being the other guys there. Littell has 2 more years left. And then Sean Burke and McGreevy are going to be our bullpen long relievers, with the rest of the bullpen looking just about the same. We have obviously Zerpe. I got Show and Dinst on one of those trades for like Pajes and a couple other guys. Rom could obviously come up. We can go look at AA and see Brent Rodriguez, Velasco, some guys that we've drafted could start moving up. Ashton Izzy was one of the first trades. Dylan Ray. There's a couple guys that could start moving up, but I don't necessarily know. I want to see what we can get out of these guys first. I think when you see guys with C potential later on, they just stop being that productive just because of how the drafts work. When it comes to the lineup is going to be pretty much the same though. Weatherholt's going to be up here. We moved on from Burleson, so Victor Scott is going to be here. We moved on from Lamont Wade, so Locklear will be our first baseman off the bench, though I have another one that could come in I want to say he's probably in AA, or maybe he's in single A. There's a first baseman called Patton, who has a very, very nice bat, but has deep potential. I just traded for him because I was like, he could be a good temporary spot as we wait, because I think, oh, he's right there. He also plays catcher. Joe Patton, very, very good bat. But I traded for him because he has deep potential. He'll get worse, and he might be a good temporary guy to have in the lineup. While we wait for Maldonado to come up for third base, probably next season, we can wait for Foster Heath to come up to play first base, probably next season. And then we have Gary Cannon, who will come up and play second base, probably next season. All 3 of these guys from the 2025 draft will all be on their way up next year. I would believe so. So that's a good spot to look at them. Maybe we'll see somebody come up in September if any of them are playing really, really well. But these are the 3 guys we're really looking to build this team around, on top of Herrera, who we already have. So that's our first baseman, our third baseman, and our catcher is locked up. So if we go back to our original goals, we still do need an ace. I think Quinn Matthews can be that, but I need to see some consistency. So I'm hoping he can bounce back from last year, where he had a little bit of a down year. But I think Quinn Matthews could be this ace. Otherwise, I think we're looking at, hopefully, Oliveros can end up developing a little bit more. Rodriguez could end up developing a little bit more. Velasco. we got a couple guys. But I think Quinn Matthews could be this ace. I just need to see him continue to play at the level he has. I see this season probably being in another spot where we can win a division, but I'm waiting for that pin to drop because we played really, really well for 3 straight seasons. When is our luck going to run out? Would you wait till September when the core members of your team, Gary Cannon is hitting 300, Maldonado's hitting 362, and Heath is hitting 362? I think I got to call at least one of them up. I mean, honestly, they all deserve to come up. But the big thing is Jordan Walker is terrible. And our third baseman's Maldonado. So I think Maldonado is going to come up right now. And so now we have it. Our future superstar third baseman, Alejandro Maldonado, is going to be playing third base for as long as he continues to play well, because Jordan Walker is the other guy that would be in that spot. I think this is going to be his position for now. He's not very good defensively, but, you know, he's got A potential. He's got a long way to go. And it's safe to say Gary Cannon and Foster Heath are right knocking on the door to take a Locklear spot and Jose Fermin's spot. But I want them to start, and I don't feel like Jonah Bride nor Gorman are playing bad enough to be able to justify bringing those two up. We'll probably wait till September. But we have our third baseman, Alejandro Maldonado, is now going to be up for the rest of the season. Did I say we were going to keep waiting? I don't think we're going to keep waiting. Nolan Gorman has negative WAR. Fermin can go down. And I guess Gary Cannon comes up? Or we could bring up Heath. Doesn't really matter which one we bring up. They'll play DH, and we'll move Weatherholt to second base. All right, we're gonna play the system a little bit, because we're gonna bring in Gary Cannon now, and we have Maldonado, who, I mean, come on, he's hitting 364 already. Because we're bringing in Cannon and Maldonado, we're gonna shoot for Rookie of the Year from Maldonado, which then gives us an opportunity to get one next year from Heath. And if we are able to do that, get Rookie of the Year 4 straight years, essentially, because I still think Quinn Matthews deserved that. Quinn Matthews, Weatherholt, Maldonado, and then Heath. I mean, is that not developing a core? So we're going to bring up Gary Cannon this year. Nolan Gorman, I am not re-signing. I might trade him at the deadline if I can get anything back for him. So we'll see. This is likely the last draft that I'm going to show this. We're going to show like our actual results, but last draft that I'm going to show a lot of the process for, simply because I do believe we now have the core that we are building this team around, and it's just more about finding interesting pieces to add to them. And on this draft, I do believe that we are going to find that with Ken Suzuki, starting pitcher from Japan, #1 ranked for us. We're going to see him. We have 2 first-round picks thanks to the Rookie of the Year from Weatherholt, and so I don't know if he's going to be good, but he's ranked #1, so he should end up being something decent. But there are also some good position players like David Alonso here, a couple other guys like this too. Most of these players in this draft seem to be all-around guys, nothing that have like distinct traits like we've had in recent drafts where you have a guy who's just a bat or a guy who's just defensive. And so, because of that, I think that there's some room for us to just kind of take some swings, see what we can get. We do need to start building up this outfield because I think our guys are getting too old and no longer look as good. So we might see if we can find some outfielders. But yeah, let's see what we actually can get at pick 25. I think this is an easy pick for me. On pick 25, Ken Suzuki is still here. Charles Franco is my second-ranked guy and is also still here. And so, I mean, I guess we could do that. We could go Franco and then hope Suzuki stays around. I think it's a riskier move, but honestly, I like the idea of it. Braden Sanchez also has really, really good numbers too. I think what we're going to do, because I don't see any of my positional players that I have ranked above them available, I think we're going to go... All right, we are going to go real risky, all right? These are ranked 4th, 2nd, and 1st for us. We have 2 first-round picks, thanks to the thing, and then we have our second-round pick. We are going to try to do Sanchez, Franco, Suzuki. I could be wrong. That's my goal. We're going to take a risk this draft because I think we are able to. So Braden Sanchez is going to actually be our first pick. If I make a mistake and I don't end up getting this right, hey, that's what you get for gambling. And so at the All-Star break, we are 62-35, easily leading the way in our division. We do not have as powerful an offense as the Reds, though it says we're actually hitting better. We're just not scoring as much as they are. We are doing, pretty good this season. I think it's big coming from our pitching staff being really, really good this year. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to win the division, even if our division is significantly better this year than it was last year. And we do have some all-stars. Andre Palante at reliever is a all-star for us. He's our closer. 1.19 ERA, 0.93 whip so far through the season. And then I want to say that we probably have some more, but I'm not seeing any more. So maybe not. I feel like we could probably deserve some more. Especially Ivan Herrera should be in, but I guess when the Marlins don't have... No, don't they still have... Why do the Marlins get 2 All-Stars? Why do they need 2 All-Stars? I think it's safe to say our gamble paid off. We got Sanchez, we got Franco, and we got Suzuki, and we got a stud first baseman after it. And I took 2 random swings on Domingo Cruz and Pedro Hernandez and got a 92 and a 91 potential. We're just taking swings out here and hitting everything because this was a gamble of a draft. We said it going in that I thought that we could wait for Suzuki. I thought we could wait for Franco. And we're going to get all 3 of these starters that we wanted in this draft. And in addition, still get other good players in Morales, Cruz, and Pedro Hernandez. I mean, this is a gamble that worked out. This is a really good draft. But I will add, there are players that we did miss. The A's got this first baseman, George Ruiz, who I didn't even have on my board anywhere. He wasn't even in my notable selections of like other random guys that I thought also looked good. And in their 2 picks, they got George Ruiz, who is going to be a superstar first baseman. 99-63, we win on the division, and we will be taking on the winner of the playoff game. Didn't get 100 wins, but very, very good season for us. And we still have our guys that are being built up. So I'm really happy with how this season went. I guess that pin still hasn't dropped. I don't know if it'll ever drop. Maybe the Cardinals are just a really good team. We do have an award winner. That is Andre Palante, who wins the Delivery Man of the Year. So no Rookie of the Year. But we'll take the Delivery Man of the Year as Palante ends up being really, really good. Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP with 52 home runs with Paul Skeens right behind him, meaning that he was also the Cy Young. Quinn Matthews is runner-up by 1 strikeout. Matthews threw 258 Ks. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's A potential. Let's go. Significant improvement over last year for Quinn Matthews. We thought he was going to maybe dip back down, or we wanted, I guess not dip back down, but I wanted him to come back to earth, I guess, from where he was last season and continue to improve, and I think he did that. And Quinn Matthews, runner-up in Cy Young for us. Maldonado was 3rd. I bet that's just 99 games, 156 games. Yeah, didn't really stand a chance in the Rookie of the Year race, but we'll make sure that Foster can next year. When it comes to the AL side, Yordan Alvarez wins the MVP with a 321 average and 46 home runs, and the Cy Young is Shane McClanahan, now of the A's. As they have a really interesting top 3 in the AL. Quinn Matthews does lead the way in winning percentage and WAR, but we don't have any other leaders. It looks like offensively, Nacho Alvarez of the Braves leads in batting average, 78 overall prospect, 317 average. I do see Ivan Herrera is up there as well. Shohei Ohtani led the league in hits with JJ Weatherholt right behind him with 197. And then when it comes to home runs, Shohei Ohtani leads the way with 52 home runs. Pitching, the saves leader is Edwin Diaz of the Dodgers, because of course they can afford everybody. He had 59 saves in the season, but Palante did get the Delivery Man of the Year with 55. ERA crown goes to Paul Skeens with the 2.53 ERA, your Cy Young winner, and your strikeout leader is Paul Skeens as well by 1 strikeout over Quinn Matthews. Andrew Painter is up there too. Interesting new roster. I kind of like this. On the AL side, Jose Ramirez leads the league and gets the batting title with a 326 average. For hits, you see Wyatt Langford of the Texas Rangers leading the way with 189. And home run leader is Yordan Alvarez of the Astros, the MVP, with 46. In the pitching department, Justin Slayton of the Red Sox leads the way with 51 saves over Cole Sands of the Twins. ERA crown goes to Zach Eflin of the Orioles. I see a White Sox in second place, and an Angel. Okay, interesting, guys. Nestor Cortez. This is a fun race over in the AL. Wish I could be over there. And then the strikeout leader is Taj Bradley of the Rays. And who is that? I don't know any of these names. I don't know these names. This is awesome. The game did send down Sean Burke, who had a 2.7 ERA, 0.86 WHIP. He needs to be back for us next year, I think. And he's under arbitration, so he definitely should be. I don't know who else they sent down. Let's see. Anybody in the bullpen? Roycroft got sent down. Roycroft deserved to get sent down. 5.12 ERA. Not a very good season for him. When it comes to our actual rotation, McGreevy, not very good. 5.75 in the bullpen. Drew Rom came up. Meh. 3.32 from Piamps, 2.65 from Fernandez, Takoa Roby 3.24 with a 1.2 whip, Zach Thompson 3.6, and your delivery man of the year was Andre Palante, who was very, very good with a 1.5 ERA this season. Quinn Matthews second in the Cy Young with a 2.69 ERA and a 1 whip, 258 strikeouts. Joe Ryan second place, also put together a good season for us, 3.59, 1.19 whip. For him, Ronaldo Lopez was not good. Glad we only got him for 1 year because that was a pretty bad year for him. Littell was pretty good, 3.7 with a 1.24 whip, and Tink Hence is still kind of mediocre. Curious why he's not, his ratings aren't significant. I guess they are. It's like they kind of are. It's that walks per 9, maybe? Home runs per 9? It's not home runs per 9. I don't know. He's just not been very good for us. For some reason, the game sent down Gary Cannon, despite the fact he hit 283 for 8 home runs in the 90 games that he played this season with a 1.5 WAR. Don't really know why he got sent down. It looks like Locklear also got sent down. 2.57, 3. I mean, he didn't really deserve to get sent down either. Both those guys ended up being pretty good this year. So looks like the game is sending down some weird guys. Jordan Walker 2.23. Was not good. Nolan Gorman, we mentioned, was not good. He is going to be gone. Ciani brought him back up. Jimmy Crooks was a very good backup catcher this season for us. 294. Very good to see that. And then these two came up for those spots. We'll have to move them back down for Cannon and Locklear. When it comes to our actual lineup, we got a 302 average from JJ Weatherholt, who hit 18 home runs in his first full season. He played 162 games. Very, very good. Over 800 OPS. And a 4 WAR season from him. Love to see that. Brendan Donovan also got 18 home runs for himself, hitting 270. Ivan Herrera hit 18 home runs. Okay, I guess we just have a lot of guys hitting 18 home runs. Hit 306. Got on base at 387 rate. Almost, he's getting close to a 900 OPS. That's what we love to see. This is our star right here, Ivan Herrera. Love him. He's an 89 overall now. Alejandro Maldonado, 282, 12 home runs in his rookie season. Mason Wynn. Do we re-sign him? Here's the thing. He's been very good, but he's going to ask for like $30 million. And I don't know if he has provided the value to deserve $30 million. I think we'll see when we get there, but I could see a lineup of Heath, Cannon, Weatherholt, and then Maldonado over at third. And I don't think Mason Wynn needs to be there, especially if he's going to ask for a lot of money. Mason Wynn might be out. Lars Nootbaar, he's starting to look, this contract's starting to look bad for me. 0.6 WAR for him, 238 average, 14 home runs, 269 from Jonah Bride with 16 home runs. Very, very good signing for the $2 million we got him for. We will have him next year, probably be a bench bat or a DH, as Foster Heath will be up, and Victor Scott as a more defensive outfielder. Still hit 239, 271 on base, 1.7 WAR. Decent season from him, but we do need an outfield. And I think Walker's probably done. Ciani is, I don't know. We're going to have to do some replacements. I think in right field, I think there's a chance we might try to trade Mason Wynn this offseason, just because I don't necessarily see the value in trying to keep him. And if he goes and beats us and gets an MVP somewhere, then I'll take the L, but I don't see him being as much future because I think Weatherholt is. I think Weatherholt is already playing better than a Wynn, and he's an 82 overall versus the 92 of Mason Wynn. He's just going to be cheaper. So let's get into the offseason. I'm going to fix it, bring in Cannon, bring back our first baseman, Locklear as well, and Sean Burke, and then we will get into the postseason. We have Quinn Matthews on the bump versus Ryan Fuchs in the first round here against the Padres for us, then Joe Ryan versus Alcantara, then Ronaldo Lopez versus Zach Gallen. And we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can take advantage and beat the Padres for the second straight season of the postseason. In game one, Quinn Matthews loses that one. Looks like McGreevy actually lost it. But it was more of a shootout. Sadly, that's an 0-1 loss. Game 2, Joe Ryan versus Sandy Alcantara. We lose that one, too. We are down 0-2. Going to Game 3, Ronaldo Lopez versus Zach Gallen. We get swept by the Padres. Pitching just didn't show up, it looks like. Zach Thompson, 47.25 ERA. That means that we actually did have good pitching, and it just fell apart. As we sim the rest of the postseason, the Guardians defeat the Reds in the 2028 World Series. We've had some interesting World Series runs. Jason Churio of the Guardians gets the World Series MVP, postseason MVP, Elly De La Cruz, and Nolan Jones of the Guardians. So we're going to go into this offseason. I think I might trade Mason Wynn. So I am going to be selling Mason Wynn to the big bad empire of the Dodgers. Seems like it might be a little early, but he's got 1 year left on his deal, right? And I want to get as much back because I don't plan on re-signing him. And because of that, we need to get something that we actually have value for. And what we really need is outfielders. And the Dodgers are in a position where their starting shortstop is Mookie Betts. I think they can move him to the outfield. And I want to get this prospect right here, Eduardo Quintero. He's not their highest ranked. I know I could get Jose De Paula or Zahir Hope out of this deal, but I really want Eduardo Quintero. He has the numbers I like the most. I think this guy will end up being very, very good. This is the player I'm betting on out of anybody for their team. And I think he'll be good. And I also wanted to just get another prospect back in return. So I'm getting a 20-year-old third baseman with A potential, just because I still need to make the deal somewhat even for myself. But we're selling it to the Empire. Mason Wynn is going to be a Dodger. Sorry to the Cardinals fans who really like Mason Wynn, but I think we're in a good position without him. We're also going to move on from Jordan Walker. Now, I feel bad for Cardinals fans who really wanted to see a rebuild where Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn ended up being a big part of this rebuild, but neither of them were good. And I know we're going to lose these deals. It's actually a big thing. In fact, most of the deals that I make are with the intent to almost lose them because I know that I could easily fleece the CPU for Jordan Walker, who's not very good. So we're just going to try to get something back. And trade into the Yankees is a move that makes sense. He's a power hitter. Seems like a Yankees move. They'll turn him into a stud. He'll be really good for them. But yeah, we're going to move off of Walker, McGreevy, and Prito, I guess. And get just two pitching prospects in return, who might be able to fill the slots when we eventually need some other guys. But that means that our core is set. Ivan Herrera, Foster Heath, Gary Cannon, JJ Weatherholt, and then Maldonado at third base. That's our core. For the most part, every draft is going to be about getting starting pitching and fulfilling this outfield. Because I don't know. I don't know if we've been a very good GM outside of drafting so far. But whatever. Jordan Walker is going to be a New York Yankee. 4 years in, and I can finally say that we're starting the rebuild, or maybe starting the core of the rebuild, or I don't know, entering the era of our new team, whatever it is. Essentially, we have now set our cornerstones to this roster, and they are here. Quinn Matthews, Ivan Herrera, Foster Heath, and then Maldonado. We are setting that goal. They are here. We now have our core of our team. In addition, we are finally underneath the, I guess, restraint that we put that our top player is one of those core members. Now, I know it's technically a closer, but I'll never count a closer because a closer is not your core member. But outside of the closer, Our top end player is Quinn Matthews, and then Ivan Herrera is right behind him. So we are in a position where now we finally have our centerpieces. Now, the question is, within this dynasty, how quickly we can win with them. It's 2029. Our guys aren't developed yet. They're going to be in the 70s. It's going to take a couple years. Now, my hope is that we can get themselves into MVP consideration, to pursue those awards, to pursue the essentially progression that we're trying to go for before like 2038. I don't want to be here for 13 seasons in order to do this. But we are already going off of a runner-up Cy Young for Quinn Matthews. Now, I'm going to expect he went from a 2.26 to a 4.03, 2.69. I'm going to guess this is probably going to be like a 4 this season. He's not going to be in Cy Young consideration this year. I would expect like a 4 with like 180 some strikeouts or like 190. But with this in mind, in this season, I think we're in a good position with Quinn Matthews potentially able to get a Cy Young. We are looking at our core members now with Foster Heath hopefully being able to, he's got a really good looking bat. He's a switch hitter. I mean, he's a really good looking bat. I think he could end up being an absolute stud in the next couple of years, maybe rookie of the year this year, but we need to build up that like discipline so he can get on base better. That might be where we pursue progression from now on in training. We have Maldonado, who just needs the same traits. Good contact bat, could end up getting himself a batting title maybe if Herrera doesn't get that. Essentially, I think we're in a position where in the next couple of years, these guys are going to start fighting for awards, and we are going to be in contention for a World Series every year. We have our core. The question is just going to be, how do we supplement it? How do we build around it? And whether or not these guys can put together a season's performance worthy of completing all of our goals that we have in mind. Multiple World Series, all of that. That's what we're shooting for. We'll see how long it takes us, but I'm hoping that we can get there soon. I don't want to be here forever, but welcome to 2029 and your St. Louis Cardinals. Were we the curse? We might have been. Jordan Walker is an all-star for the Yankees. And even worse than that, Mason Wynn is an all-star for the Dodgers. And he has 24 home runs at the all-star break, which is better than he did for us the whole time. And he finally has a round of, like, okay, I get it, but this is like the best season he's ever had. Yeah, like this is, okay, all right. Well, Maldonado is an all-star. We'll take that. He's hitting 307 so far. And we do have an all-star in Ivan Herrera, all-star starting catcher, who is hitting 295, 13 home runs as well. No all-star pitching staff, which means that Quinn's not having a good season to start. But it is what it is. We are still at least leading the division, 62-35, 10 games above the Pirates and Paul Skeens, but I am ready to just be absolutely destroyed by when Mason Wynn wins an MVP. It's gonna happen. 105-57, we win the division and we'll be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. An improvement on the season, despite the fact we traded away Mason Wynn and Jordan Walker. I'll take it, honestly. We got younger and cheaper, kind of. Not when you consider the extensions I gave to the guys, but whatever. Okay, 105-57. Let's see how we did. We got some awards. Andre Palante with another Delivery Man of the Year. And Rookie of the Year for our first baseman, Foster Heath. The core member of our team. Maybe he's our Pujols. Maybe he's our Goldschmidt. Maybe he's not. But Rookie of the Year for Foster Heath. On the NL side, Shohei Ohtani comes away with another MVP. 298, 49 home runs, 138 RBIs. Riley Green's on the Braves? Okay. Shohei's now won 3 in a row, which means he has 6. So this roster makes him even better. Okay. All right. Riley Green was second, but when we talked to Cy Young, Garrett Crochet of the Braves wins Cy Young. Like I said, I couldn't make him sign with the Red Sox. By the time we do the next rebuild, he will have that extension correct. I would hope so. in the rosters. But let's take a look at our Rookie of the Years. Foster Heath was first, 33 home runs, 123 RBIs. That's not really a Rookie of the Year, as much as it's like a legit, that's an all-star. And Joe Elvis was second. That was a player, I believe. What trade did we get him in? It's been a while. I want to say that might have been all the way back in I don't remember what trade that was. But we did trade for him, and he ended up being pretty good for us. So we'll take it. One of the trade pieces we've got early on in the rebuild. Second Rookie of the Year. Let's take a look at the AL side. MVP goes to Vladimir Guerrero of the New York Yankees with 46 home runs and 122 RBIs. Tarek Skubal wins the Cy Young with the Rangers, winning a 2.67 ERA, 197 strikeouts. League leaders, I can see that Palante led in saves, as expected, but Riley Green gets the batting title, hitting .316 for the Atlanta Braves on the NL side. He does not lead in hits, though. That is Xavier Edwards, as JJ Weatherholt, second straight season with only 2 short on hits. I guess maybe it's not bad that we gave up on Mason Wynn. I know he was good, but we'll still take it. And home run leader was Riley Green with 53 home runs for the Atlanta Braves. And as we saw, Palante led the way in saves with 59 for us. ERA crown went to Garrett Crochet of the Braves, just by a lot, too. And then the strikeouts was Paul Skeens of the Pirates with 258. He had 259 last season. So is he done? Oh, he is. He is no longer a Pirate. I don't think they're paying him $34 million. I'm not going to pay him either, but see where he ends up. Hopefully not in the NL. And the batting title on the AL side goes to Jackson Holliday of the Baltimore Orioles, hitting .332. Hits-wise, we have Vladimir Guerrero lead the way with 196, and home run leader was also Vladimir Guerrero, 48, not 46 before. Sorry, I sometimes cannot read the 8s and 6s in the fonts on this game. They're too close to each other. And the saves leader was Lucas Urseg. Okay, that was weird. Of the Royals, ERA crown goes to Brian Wu of the Mariners. That's fun. And then your strikeout leader is Joel Michaels of the Angels. That's a pitching prospect. 2025 first round pick. So second overall pick in the first draft. Okay. First prospect we've really seen on top of these boards. To be honest, for us, we found a hard time fulfilling this fifth pitcher, sixth pitcher type part of our lineup. Cooper Jerpy was not good, 6.62 ERA. Sean Burke was a 5.31 ERA in his time. Graceffo had a 4.5. Bunch of guys that just got sent down because they weren't very good for us. What was Gastelum? Okay, he was okay in his time up there, but thankfully I think Velasco will come up next season and hopefully will just be decent, so I don't have to worry about this anymore. But yeah, those guys weren't really that good. When we come to the actual lineup, you can see we don't have any long relievers because they moved them all down. Payamps was at 2.44, Fernandez 3.81, Drew Rom 4.01. They brought up Tassan Hill, not really interested. Takoa Roby, another great season from him, 1.98, 0.88 whip. Zach Thompson 2.92, and then Palante with a 2.82. Honestly, it's crazy to me. Roby, Thompson, Palante, and I guess Fernandez have been a fantastic bullpen for the entirety of our rebuild so far. Palante, I mean, he's at 244 saves. He's only age 30. If he continues this dude has been phenomenal since we got him in. Starting rotation, I kind of expected it. I said like a 3.8, 3.9. He had a 4. Around 180 strikeouts. He had 180 strikeouts. He returned back down to normal after last season. So no Cy Young contention for Quinn Matthews, but he's up to a 93. We'll take that. Joe Ryan, 3.45 in his season. Littell kind of finally done, 4.41. This is his last year. Hence was bad again, 4.94. And then Joe Elvis was a good, I'm still blanking on what trade that was. But we got Joe Elvis in a trade, and he was very, very good as this fifth starter. So kind of glad we have him. Lineup-wise, the game sent down Jonah Bride, who finally doesn't really look like I mean, he's $2 million. He was cheap, good deal for us along the way. Still had a 322 on base, hit 23 home runs this year. Was still very, very good. But looks like he's about done for us. And Locklear was okay as well. Who we got in the Arenado trade. I mean, he's been decent this whole time, like decent as a backup bench bat, but nothing really worth my time. He's still renewable. We'll probably keep him for another year on our team. But when we come to our actual lineup, I had to bring up Bernal because Crooks was terrible. In fact, where is Jimmy Crooks? I don't know. I don't know where they put him. I don't know where they put him. I can't read. I can't read. Okay. So Jimmy Crooks was not good. Oh, no, they brought him back up. Okay, that's weird. All right. But Jimmy Crooks wasn't good. Bernal wasn't really, but didn't have enough time. Victor Scott, 196. Ciani was a 247, which we'll take for, a defensive replacement. Callie didn't play, Padilla didn't play, and Crooks was bad. So backup catcher, a little weak for us, but I think we have another one coming. I did get Bobby Brasheen. Somebody let him go, so I guess we have another catcher. But our actual lineup. Maldonado, 290, 15 home runs from him. He hit 185 hits. We'd love to see it. Over 800 OPS. And third base, as he put up 2.4 WAR as our third baseman. Brendan Donovan, 293 with 25 home runs. Ivan Herrera, 285, 20 home runs, 142. And he has a potential now, which I'd love to see. Weatherholt had 29 home runs, 306 average. Foster Heath as our future superstar. Look at the pluses all across the board. 43 doubles, 33 home runs, 292 average, 865 OPS for 4.2 WAR in his rookie season. Love to see it. Newt Barr is back. Newt! He's playing well again. I mean, he's not playing great, but he's almost backed up to an 800 OPS and 1.6 WAR. Is he worth $18 million? No, but I'll still take it. Cannon had a little bit of a down year here, 259, but he still had a 350 on base percentage because he can walk a lot. So not bad, just didn't get as many hits this year. I say that, not consistently at least. Didn't hit for average like he did last year, but we'll still take it. And then Quintero, our trade piece for Mason Wynn. A lot of improvement across the board, hit 282, 338 on base percentage, and played good defense, 4.2 WAR as well. I mean, yeah, I can't even get that mad at it. I do want to go take a look at Mason Wynn, if I can click the button, just to see how he did, because I feel like this is going to be a big deal, just to see what we missed out on. 33 home runs, 10 triples, 29 doubles, 902 OPS, and 6.4 WAR. So I think we win the deal, to be honest. We got a 4.2 WAR guy with 6 years of team control for a guy with 6.4 WAR with 1 year of team control. I'm pretty happy about it. The only way it could really backfire is if, we go into this season or go into this playoffs and the Dodgers beat us. So let's not let the Dodgers beat us, please. And it's the Dodgers. Okay, all right. So I would have liked to waited to the CS to see them, but I guess we'll see them in the first round. All right. Quinn Matthews versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto in game 1. We take that one. Okay. Game 2, Joe Ryan versus Bobby Miller. We get blown up in that game. Okay. Littell versus Ohtani in game 3. Oh, we are down 2-1. Come on, guys. Don't let Mason Wynn get the best of us. Tink Hence versus Sasaki. Okay, we win that one. And Elvis versus Yamamoto. Thank you. We win, and we get to take on the Braves. But we come back. Now we have the Braves. Quinn Matthews versus Spencer Strider in game 1. We lose that one 4-5 as Takoa Roby loses it for us. We are down 0-1. Joe Ryan versus Crochet. We win that one. Ryan gets his revenge after that terrible game. It is a 1-1 series. Littell versus Schwellenbeck. Bach. It doesn't matter. Littell puts up an amazing game. We are up 2-1. Tink Hence versus Smith Shawver. We're up 3-1. Okay. Elvis versus Spencer Strider. We lose that one. Get destroyed in it. All right. Quinn Matthews. Crochet. Let's go. We're taking on the Guardians in the World Series. I love to see it. We are in the World Series in the first year of this core, and we don't get to see Jordan Walker. Instead, we get to see the Guardians. Okay. we're going to go, I guess Quinn Matthews did get the last game, so I guess we will go Joe Ryan here in game 1. Joe Ryan versus Christopher Sanchez. We lose that one 3-5. We take a look at the box score. Looks like the Guardians did a home run from Victor Robles. Okay, we gave up 3 homers. That's what happens. So, all right, game 2, Littell versus Gavin Williams. We are down 0-2 to the Guardians. Tink Hence versus Nestor Cortez. All right. Hey, you know what? We made it. We made it. In the first year of the core, we made it to the World Series. I'll take it. It doesn't matter. I really was hoping I could just like talk myself backwards into us winning the whole thing. But no, we lose to the Guardians in the World Series. Sad, but hey, it was our first year with this core, and we made it to the World Series with the first year of this core. Let's see if we can make it back in 2030. I think we can, because we should be a little bit better. And Eduardo Quintero wins the playoff MVP for us. Manzardo wins the World Series MVP for the Guardians. They went back-to-back. Didn't even think about that. Quintero, Heath, Herrera. I'd love to see that. Robles, Bazana, and Churio were there too. So I think we're going to look at pitching mainly. That's our main goal, because I think our lineup's pretty much set now. So it's just, let's worry about pitching and let's continue. I think this team is ready. We got over the Dodgers. We got over the Braves. I mean, it's a gauntlet in the NL. So see what we can do. Here we are in 2030, looking at a team that I think has a good chance to pull off a World Series after losing last year. And in order to do that, we did go get some free agent pitching arms. Brennan Pfaadt, who I got on a pretty cheap deal, 4 years, $60 million, similar to what we got for Joe Ryan. And then Brian Wu, who we did pay a little bit more, closer to $100 million for the next 5 years. My thought was, if you have those two, Ryan will eventually come off the books. I don't really like Tink Hence. I can't believe he's making $21 million. Unless he performs this season, I don't think we're bringing him back. And, you know, besides those, I don't necessarily know what else we have. If Velasco's going to come up this year, I think then we can also bring up Rodriguez and Olivares and show a lot of these prospects that we have can come up this next season. So around Quinn Matthews, I do think we have a pitching staff. I think this year could be enough to win it with some older pitching arms around our main core. And then in the lineup, I don't believe I made many moves. If anything, I didn't at all, actually. I looked at making a move for like Lawrence Butler to bring him into the outfield, but I think Lars Nootbaar played pretty well last season, and I think we can give him another shot here. And with this is our core, and I honestly like this team a lot. We're going to have Padilla play second with Gary Cannon at DH this year. If not, we'll move and put like Chase Davis in that slot or Locklear in that slot. I can also bring up Patton or Baez if we need to. Just a couple players that could potentially come up this season in order to take that spot. We also let go of Crooks and replaced him with Leonardo Bernal to be a backup catcher. So this season, I have a good expectation that this team could win a World Series. Let's just see where we are halfway through the season and see if we have to make any moves, any trades, and see if like Foster Heath puts together a season similar to what he did last year. I don't know if we're going to be in an MVP or a Cy Young consideration, but if Quinn Matthews is good every other year of his career, I don't know, Cy Young, maybe. We are dominating the All-Star game this season, and you can see this with the top of our lineup. Kind of expected it. Quinn Matthews, it's an odd year for him, and 15-1, 0.83 ERA, 0.71 WHIP. I mean, this is insane. This is a crazy start. This is like, he's almost at 6'4", and we're at the All-Star break. Okay, Quinn Matthews is the GOAT. Love to see that. Ivan Herrera is hitting 348 and leading the way, starting catcher. We have Foster Heath, who's got 31 home runs at All-Star with hitting 288. Gary Gannon's hitting 335. He's an All-Star. Maldonado is not a starter, but he's hitting 323. It's because he's not a power hitter, you know? But he's an All-Star. I mean, I guess they got Gary Cannon at DH. This is awesome. We are in just another world right now. This team is phenomenal. We're 65-32, leading the way. I think the pitching staff could use some help. It's not doing great, but when Quinn Matthews is playing that well, does it really matter? I don't know. We're dominating here, so I guess we'll see you in the playoffs. Okay, like one game after All-Star break. Nootbaar's out for 3 months. Maybe we'll look for an outfielder in the deadline. And so I took a look around the league just to try to see what guys were on expiring deals in the outfield that were on bad teams. And Jung-Hoo Lee is not the starting center fielder for the Giants anymore. They have Brenton Doyle. So I feel like it makes sense. We'll get Jung-Hoo Lee for Cooper Jerpy and Mlbtheshow, just so we have another outfielder for the rest of the season. And I found a 99 potential starting pitcher in the 4th round. Okay. I don't know if we'll see him ever, but sweet. 103-59, and we win our division again. Another 100-win season this year, and I'm excited to see if we have any award winners, just simply based off what we had at the All-Star break. Herrera, Heath, Maldonado, Cannon, and I think most importantly, Quinn Matthews. We might knock out some of these awards, hopefully. Cy Young for Quinn Matthews. That's what we like to see. Hank Aaron for Ivan Herrera. MVP for Quinn Matthews. That's really good to see. And a batting title for Ivan Herrera. Okay, I think we've really built around this. Oh my God. Okay, 27. Well, yeah. When the game values wins, I guess going 27-1 is enough to give you that value. And a 1.13 ERA? What? Okay, I don't think I've seen some sim seasons like this. Normally coming out of like Skeens or, I guess we've seen some in the ones, but I don't think I've seen something this low before. 231 innings, 250 strikeouts, 113. This is like one of the greatest pitching seasons ever. 2030 Quinn Matthews. He's going to pitch to like a 5.5 next year just to balance himself out. 30 quality starts. Just look at this. Look at like how many he had like that. Okay. Anyways, Foster Heath was also the runner-up in the MVP. He's a 90. He was the runner-up. He's up to 46 home runs, 40 doubles, 921 OPS, 4.8 WAR because he's a first baseman. But, okay, so we had the Cy Young, the runner-up to the MVP. Quinn Matthews obviously was the MVP and the Cy Young. Batting title from Herrera with Cannon right behind him. Herrera had 36 home runs. No reliever of the year, so it looks like Palante had a little bit of a down year. And then Herrera with the Hank Aaron. I just want to see, did we get any others? Silver Slugger for Herrera, Silver Slugger for Heath. No Silver Slugger for Cannon. A D8. I guess Shohei exists. And then that's about it. But yeah, okay. All right. And if we take a look at the American League side, Cam Smith wins the MVP. Okay. That's cool. Cam Smith. MVP, 40 home runs, 130 RBIs. Cy Young, Hunter Brown. Good for the Astros. I mean, he's not on the Astros, but Hunter Brown wins the Cy Young. So, interesting awards, but dominant for us. I feel like this is going to be a very long page. Quinn Matthews leads in ERA, winning percentage, wins, innings pitched, WHIP, WAR. Maldonado leads in doubles with 58, Heath and RBIs, Herrera in batting average, Herrera in OPS at over 1,000. So let's take a look. Batting average, we had 3 guys hit over 300, with Weatherholt right behind it. 341, 322, and Maldonado with 306. Hits leader, 206 from Cannon and 206 from Maldonado. That's awesome. I think the only reason Herrera's not up there is because he's a catcher, so he doesn't play every day. Doubles leader was Maldonado. Home runs leader was Heath. He tied. It's a 4-way tie at 46 home runs. Didn't get the triples crown, but okay. Saves leader was Vesio with 52. Palante did have 45, so he was right behind there, but it looks like we had such a good offense. He wasn't in position to get saves as much. Matthews with a huge win on the ERA. I mean, Spencer Strider had a good year. Like, this is a Cy Young level year for Spencer Strider. 253 strikeouts, 257, but Quinn Matthews, I guess. Wow. All right. Yeah, led in a lot of things. Didn't lead in strikeouts, but okay. That's crazy. Let's just go take a look at the AL just to see what they even have. Okay. Travis Bazzana was the batting average crown with a 326. Nico Horner of the Yankees had 200 hits, led the way over there. Your home run leader was Rafael Devers with 44. That's okay. The saves leader is Connor Prielip. Man, the Twins have so many, like, just reliever prospects that are fun. I feel like they've dominated every year here. ERA, Mackenzie Gore with a 2.68 or 2.88. I can't read that. Parker Hurst was a pick not that long ago, was right below him. And then your strikeout leader was Joel Michaels of the Angels. Taking a look at our team, some of the guys they sent down: Castellum, 4.85 in the bullpen, not necessarily great. Elvis with a 4.01 was okay. I think he started half the games and then was on the bench for, actually started most of the games, 19 games this season starting. I mean, not bad. 4.01 wasn't that bad. I think I brought Izzy up. He had a 4.05. But the actual rotation, Tink Hence, 3.65. I'm not going to pay him because he's going to ask for like 20 million, but that's his best season yet. We'll take it. Good for him. He'll get a bag in the offseason, which will be good for him. Velasco was not good, 5.77. We moved him to the bench because he was not doing good. Cronin, 3.62. Roby with his worst season yet, 4.67 from him. His potential went up, but his rating, or his ERA went down. Fernandez, 3.32, good for him. Castellano, 2.76, not bad. And Palante with his worst season yet, 3.45. Just a down year from him, relatively. Looks like he had a lot less games to play, but yeah, just not as good as he has normally been. Starting rotation, we have, Quinn Matthews, amazing. Joe Ryan was really, really good too. We talked about, we've got 2 years left of Joe Ryan, and he's getting better, which is awesome. 3.18, 106 whip. I mean, that's great. 3.5 WAR from him. Fott was okay. 4.14 with a 1.24 whip. And Brian Wu was okay. I don't know if I really like our pitching staff going into this. I guess I'm going to start Hence. I don't really know what to do. I like the top two. That's about it. So pitching rotation might be a little weak for the playoffs. Tyler Locklear got sent down. Actually played pretty well in his games that he came up. It's a low WAR, but he had to take the place and play DH a lot this second half of the season with Nootbaar out. That wasn't too bad, 275. They also sent down Bernal, who hit 278 as a backup catcher. That's pretty good. I'm going to assume that they sent them down because they brought up Brashin. Yep. But Nootbaar is back. He will be back. He played 82 games, hit 306, 400 on base percentage. It's why it sucked. He was really having a good year before he got hurt, but I think we did a good job replacing him, and he will be able to play in the postseason, which is awesome. Michael Ciani, defensively, 252, not bad. Chase Davis was not that good, 239, 307 on base. Just didn't really bring any value. Herrera at the leadoff, dominated with the batting title, hit 36 home runs, over 1,000 OPS. He's a 90 overall and 9.1 WAR out of the catcher. I mean, when we're talking about trying to get him into the Hall of Fame, getting 9 WAR seasons like this will do it. And if he continues to play like this, which we have him for a long time yet, that's going to be good. Brendan Donovan, sadly, is regressing, which is going to suck if he does this. So he had a really good year, still hit 293. But if he's going to continue to regress, I don't know how much longer we can stick with him. He had a great season last year, a little bit down here. Maldonado, 306, 14 home runs at third base. Foster Heath hit 282, 46 home runs, 137 RBIs. I mean, he's our superstar, right? And I think he showed it this season, getting a Silver Slugger and the home run champion. Gary Cannon, 23 home runs, 322 average. JJ Weatherholt hit 297 this year with 172 hits. Quintero was a little bit down, 246. Jung-Hoo Lee did a pretty good job in his replacement role, hitting 278, 341 on base. Though I think as the postseason comes, he will go to the bench for Nootbaar. Maybe I'll have them platoon though. Nootbaar is better against lefties, so we could do we could just do this. We could have them both play, to be honest, over Chase Davis. Let's just do that for the postseason. I'm also going to send Brasheen down, but I am... Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave Brasheen in. We'll just leave Brasheen in. Why not? Instead of Locklear, he can play first too. Okay. This is a postseason team. Let's see what we can do now. We made it to the World Series last year. This offense is amazing. I mean, if I look at the standings, we hit 290 as a team. 290. That is an unbelievably powerful offense. 364 on base percentage as a team. We didn't hit for power that as much comparatively, but that's crazy. Let's hope the bats stay awake for the postseason. We have the San Diego Padres, who with Cash Mayfield, Alcantara, and Bybee, they could outpitch us, but I doubt they'll be able to outhit us. Let's see what we can do. Matthews versus Cash Mayfield. Okay, we win that one. Matthews didn't have a great game, but we do get the pull-off 7-5 victory. Joe Ryan versus Alcantara. We win that one. And we are up 2-0. Fott versus Bybee. We win that one with a sweep over the Padres. We're taking on the Dodgers or the Braves. And it's the Dodgers. Okay. Back to the start of the... I think we're going to go back to the top of the rotation. Just because I want to. Oh, okay. Matthews got destroyed. I'm not excited about that at all. But okay. Matthews versus Shohei Ohtani. He loses that one. He is not having a good postseason. Okay, we're down 0-1. Joe Ryan versus Roki Sasaki. We win that one 3-1. It is a 1-1 series as we go to LA. Fott versus Yamamoto. We lose that one, down 2-1. Wu versus Bruns. We are down 3-1. Okay, Hens versus DL Hall. We win that one. Offense is here. Quinn Matthews versus Shohei Ohtani. We win that one. Can we come back? Joe Ryan versus Roki Sasaki. That's a 3-1 comeback. Okay, we are taking on the New York Yankees in the postseason, in the playoffs. I think we're going to go Fott for game one. But, okay, pitching is concerning to me entirely. But let's just see what we can do, guys. Come on. Fott versus Bailey Ober, game one. We win that one 5-2. Brian Wu versus Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola's like 37. Okay. Versus Aaron Nola. We win that one. All right, he's 37 and he lost. Actually, his bullpen lost. But we are up 2-0. Going to New York. Tank Hens versus Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. We dominate that one. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump in. We are going to quick manage, and we are going to go right in. I'm just going to see what we can do. Can we win this one in New York? Give me a clean sweep here. Herrera's playing well. Maldonado's playing well. Heath, Cannon. I love to see it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Newbar wasn't playing well, but whatever. Here we go. We're up 3-0, so we're in a good... We're up 1-0 in this game already. Love to see that. And another... Guys, I love you so much. I love you. This is a great team. I'm so happy. Home run, Padilla. Let's go. Walk for Herrera. This is great. This is great. Maldonado with another single. Another bases loaded for Weatherholt. Pitching change. Sac fly. Double. Another 2 runs. Walk. Let's go. Bases loaded for Herrera. Double. 3-run score. A walk. Okay, strikeout. Guys, we're up 10-0 in the 3rd inning. This is awesome. This is the best offensive team I've ever built. I don't think I've ever built a team offensively as good as this team. This is like a dream scenario. Oh my God, it's great. And we drafted most of them. We didn't do any big free agent signings to do this. 3-run home run. Quinn, just get me out of this inning. We'll go to somebody else in the 6th. Okay. We'll go to somebody else here in the 6th. We are going to go to Velasco. He can get us through 2 innings or so. Double for Padilla. Ground out. Single for Donovan. Double for Maldonado. Double for Heath. Ground out. Single for Weatherholt. Error gets another one in. Guys, we're up 16-3 in the World Series. This is... Can you feel my joy? I don't think I've ever felt this good doing a simulation. I don't think I've ever like been in a position where I'm like, oh, that Monster Heat 3-run home run. We're up 19-3. 2-run home run weather hole. 21-3. This is like embarrassing. Okay. Yeah, guys, let's just see. You know what? Let's put in Newt. I just want to see what he can do. Error, he's on base. There's a walk. There's another walk. Bases loaded for Brennan Donovan. Sack fly. Fly out from Maldonado. Pop out. Let's do a pitching change. I'm sorry, Vladdy, but we're going to go to Palante. Fly out. Strike out. Let's enter the game. And let's just see this team celebrate here. You know, I might like, this is like the best team I've ever put together. We are up 22-3. This is crazy. All right. Andre Palante in the bottom of the 9th of Game 4. One of the biggest blowouts of a World Series ever. Just a domination. It's like they're not even in the same league as us. We are up 22. The scoreboard is like broken because it doesn't know how to fit that many runs on the board. With the pitch. Oh, sinker. I want the strikeout, Palante. Give me the strikeout.
The Yankees down to their final strike.
Okay. Throws a 12-6 curve in the dirt. 1-2 count. And he just takes the strike looking. The St. Louis Cardinals are the 2030 World Series champions in one of the most dominating fashions ever seen in the history of Major League Baseball. This isn't even a close competition, and this team ain't going anywhere. Everybody's under contract, such things. Everybody's going to be around. They're all in their 20s for the most part. This team is insane. Keep celebrating, guys. Keep celebrating. The Cardinals are back. The dynasty begins here in 2030. We might win 110 next year. And then we can win 120. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. This team is so good. Guys, we traded away a 90-plus overall last season. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Hold that trophy. Let's go! Your World Series MVP is Ivan Herrera, who's also the playoff MVP. He hit 611 in the World Series. 611. What is this? 348 from Herrera, 341 from Cannon, 300 from Donovan. On the American League side, Aaron Judge did play well, but on the way into the postseason, but just could not handle the absolute domination of the St. Louis Cardinals. We came back 3-1 against the Dodgers and then just demolished the Yankees. Oh. That's going to be a high we're going to be on for a little while. Let's not feel the slump. See you in 2031. Looking to run it back this year, we didn't make a lot of changes. We essentially just brought in Kyle Harrison, who's been very, very good for the Giants the last several years. In fact, since 2027, he's been really, really good. And I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't necessarily know if our guys are ready. Velasco didn't look that great last year, so him or Fott, whatever. We're just going to kind of pick and choose our guys, because I think like Oliveros and, that's a closer. But like we have a bunch of guys here that could essentially make it, make their ways here and be starters soon, but I can't guarantee any of them yet. So we're sitting on hopefully getting good production out of those guys, maybe good production out of Joe Ryan for another year, as he's on his last year of his deal. Fott wasn't very good last year for us, so I hope that we can get this. We finally brought up Desan Hill, who we got all the way back in like I think the Ryan Helsley deal. Like, that's how long ago we got Dasan Hill. So we'll see if that ends up being good for us in the bullpen. In the lineup, we just made one change. I moved up Chase Davis. Didn't really like him. Obviously, we needed another outfielder. So I brought in Trevor Larnach, who was very good last year from Milwaukee. And he's got a good bat against righties, which means that he should be a righty little platoon thing. We're going to put Josh Baez up in this spot if we need to. And it kind of gives me a chance to play around a little bit. Maybe I go, against lefties. Maybe we go Padilla instead. Or, we can figure it out around our lineup and actually see what we want to do. Maybe we go, whatever. No matter what it is, we'll figure it out. This is our team this year. Let's see if we can run it back. We are ranked first in contact, first in pitching, third total. We dominated last season in the postseason. Let's see if we can do it again. We have a bunch of all-stars again at the all-star break. Quinn Matthews, he's not doing something like crazy this year. He's down to 248. It's an even year in his career. But, I think that means he's probably still leading Cy Young contention this year. Yeah, very good for him so far. Brian Wu is also very, very good this year. All-star for him. When we look around, we don't have any relievers, but Ivan Herrera is still an all-star at starter at catcher. Foster Heath hitting .345 is an all-star starter at first base. Gary Cannon is an all-star, not a starter at second, but he's still an all-star. And we did not get an all-star out of Maldonado, but that's okay. He's having a little bit of a down year comparably. We are 61-36, a little bit down from where we were last year, probably because our offense isn't like super powered, but our pitching's better. So we're already almost have a 200 run differential. We're still very, very dominant as a team, and I guess we'll be there when it comes to postseason time. We'll see what we got. In fact, actually, I think we're in a good spot because I believe like everybody is playing well. Like even like Nootbaar is like a stud now. Contract worked out by the end. 105-57. We win the division again with 105 wins. This is the second straight season where we've had that. And probably another dominant year too. So I'm going to see how many other awards we've won. Because I just know this year with the All-Stars we've had, how good Foster was playing. I'm really hoping he could be an MVP. I'm hoping Quinn could be a Cy Young. We'll see. But this is all about repeating. So no matter what awards we get, we've already accomplished a lot of our goals there. But for a Dynasty, we got to win more than one World Series, right? For a second straight season, Quinn Matthews comes away with a Cy Young, now a two-time Cy Young Award winner, and finished second another season. He's been a dominant piece. If you're using franchise fidelity to reality, apparently Quinn Matthews is a stud in this roster. Cy Young for him, Gold Glove for Lars Nootbaar, who put together another great season. Foster Heath with a Hank Aaron Award. Foster Heath with an MVP. Foster Heath with the batting title. Foster Heath with the Triple Crown. Wow, okay. 355, 56 home runs, 155 RBIs. Okay, he's kind of a stud. Quinn Matthews leads the way, goes 18-5, 2.64 ERA, 221 strikeouts for him as he beats out. Crochet probably should have been Cy Young this year, but we'll take it for Quinn Matthews. Nootbaar! Okay. Okay, all right. This team is, yeah. On the AL side, Hunter Green wins the MVP and therefore the Cy Young as well. So good for Hunter Green. I think I'm focused on this though. So we have the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 in batting average with Foster Heath, Lars Nootbaar, and Ivan Herrera. Gary Cannon also hits over 300 this season. There's a lot of guys that hit over 300. Foster Heath leads the way with 221 hits. Cannon had 201. Maldonado had 195. I mean, doubles, Foster Heath led the way with 47. Home runs, he led the way with 56. Nootbaar had 35. He was in 4th. Shout out Nootbaar. Barely beats out Shohei, though. So Shohei was close in this race, but dominant. This offense is crazy. Hey, We had Ivan Herrera, and we drafted all these guys in the 2025 draft. So would that not go down as like one of the greatest drafts of all time, this 2025 draft, if you could say, oh yeah, we just had, Foster Heath, Gary Cannon, and Alejandro Maldonado all at the same time. Just something, just a little something. Your saves leader is Jacob Mizorowski of the Brewers. He got 60 saves in the NL. Palante was still there with 46. ERA crown goes to Garrett Crochet. Quinn Matthews was in second with a 2.36, and strikeout leader was Spencer Strider, who had 240 for the Braves. On the American League side, Jason Dominguez gets the batting title with a 328.6. I'm terrible at reading that font. Batting average, the hits leader is Enrique Bradfield Jr. All right, that's cool. And your home run leader is Cam Smith of the Astros. Seems like that was a good trade for Kyle Tucker for them. Got a lot back. Alexis Diaz has the most saves with 51. ERA crown goes to Hunter Green at the 2.75. And your strikeout leader was Joel Michaels again for the Angels. This dude is really, okay, he strikes out a lot. It's one of these guys that has this really high K9, but not much else. This is the second guy I've seen like this so far playing this game. But very good for them. Taking a look at our pitching staff, they sent down Tekoa Roby, who has been pretty consistent, but major regression for him this season as he hits age 29, 3.76 average. I mean, he's been pretty good for the whole time and still was average ERA, but was still very good this year in 91 innings. He got a lot of play this year for himself. If we look at the majors, okay, he had 14 innings. He's an 87 and just, I don't know. I guess he's not getting a lot of opportunities. Joe Dynasty, or however you pronounce that, 296, 1-1 whip for him. Dasan Hill, 301, pretty good. 2.7 for Fernandez, 4.3 for Castellano, 3.77 for Cronin, and a 2.85 for Palante, who is still very good. Oh, that means did Zach Thompson get sent down? Where is Zach Thompson? Did I let go of Zach Thompson? I might have. I don't remember doing that. I must have. Okay. Whoops on me. Quinn Matthews, 2.64, another Cy Young for him. He has been very good for us. He is definitely an ace. 2-time Cy Young winner now in 2030 and 2031. He only has 2 All-Stars too. But very, very good for him. Joe Ryan, 3.84, 119 whip as he goes down, and overall he is at the end of his contract with us, probably done. Brandon Pfaadt was not a good contract, but 4.05 will I think be decent. And Brian Wu put together a pretty good year, 3.34, 115 whip. Kyle Harrison was a good contract, and we see it with a 3.64, 122 whip. I guess he's pretty consistent. I like to see that. Kyle Harrison was good for us. So pitching staff, much improved over last season. And in the lineup, Brendan Donovan got sent down. He is a 72 overall now. That contract kind of hurts. We signed him at the peak. Probably should have just let him walk. Not great GMing on me, but yeah, he is a negative player now. That's sad to see, but he still did hit 235 this year, 21 home runs. Not bad for Brendan Donovan. The other player that got sent down was Tyler Locklear again, who hit 297 only in 37 at bats though. So some guys, I guess Josh Baez got sent down. He had 218, so he deserved to get sent down amongst those guys. But sad that Brendan Donovan is regressing. Major league wise, Leonardo Bernal, 222, nothing really great. Chase Davis didn't play. Padilla hit 211. He's an 84 overall. Doesn't really play like one. I mean, he was a 12th round pick in 2022. Love to see the development out of him, but okay. Ivan Herrera hit 31 home runs again. A little bit of a down year from last year, which is not saying. I mean, he's still 8.3 WAR. Crazy. Maldonado, 286, 24 home runs for him at third base. Gary Cannon, 22 home runs. 311 average. Foster Heath was your MVP. I'm going to come back to him. Trevor Larnach was a very good signing for us. I guess he'll be our Brendan Donovan replacement because he hit 276, 819 OPS this year. Very good for him. Weatherholt hit 280, had 144 hits this season. Newt Barr, he's back. He's hitting 327. He's an 88 overall. Like, out of nowhere with 1,000 and a 7.8 WAR. Oh, I can't pay him. I'm not making the same mistake I did with Donovan, okay? All right. And then Quintero, 254 this season with 142 hits. Did have a 328 on base, but not really anything special. The big one, though, Foster Heath, 221 hits, 47 doubles, 56 home runs, 355 average, almost an 1100 OPS. He comes home with 9.7 WAR at first base, which is a lot, because he's actually a pretty good defensive player, which is awesome. He's not great, but he's been consistently decent at first, and that's a lot of development. He's a 98 overall already. He's 24. We signed him to a contract. It's going to be a deal for us down the road, as Foster Heath is just one of the best players I've ever drafted. All right. Let's hope there's no traps in the playoffs here for us. We have our division rival Brewers here as our first round. Hopefully not a speed bump for us as we go in. Pretty confident within this team. I don't really even know what they have. They still got Freddie. But a different team here than it has been. They still have Churio, and I think they have Jesus Made or whatever. But let's hope that we can just kind of walk right through them. Quinn Matthews versus Giovanni Lund. Okay, Quinn. Not a playoff performer, I guess. All right, Game 2, Joe Ryan versus Josh Noth. We do win that one. Game 3, Fott versus Freddie Peralta. We win that one. Brian Wu versus Logan Henderson. We win that one. Okay, I don't know what happened to Quinn, but all right, we're just going to go with Kyle Harrison because I don't know what happened to Quinn. But Kyle Harrison versus Spencer Strider as we take on the Braves once again. So the West is the Dodgers, the East is the Braves, and we're the Central. I'll take that. Kyle Harrison versus Spencer Strider in Game 1. We lose that one. Looks like a bullpen game. We lost 6-9. Game 2, Quinn Matthews versus Crochet. We do pull that one out. Quinn does put it back together for Game 2. Pitches 8 innings and gives up no runs. So 1-1 series as we go to Atlanta. Joe Ryan versus Miguel Ramirez. We win that one 11-9 in a shootout. I actually want to see that box score. How did we get those 11 runs? 2 home runs from Gary Cannon. That's how. All right, we are up 2-1. Game 4 in Atlanta. Fott versus Owen Murphy. We lose that one. It is now a 2-2 series. Brian Wu versus Spencer Strider in Game 5. We take a big dub. We are up 3-2. Kyle Harrison versus Crochet in Game 6. Great. Ivan Herrera broke his hand. And we lost. It's down to Quinn Matthews. We win. But we have no Ivan Herrera for the rest of the postseason. He was our MVP last year. So that's a big loss. But okay. Kansas City Royals. Joe Ryan versus Blake Walters. Ben Kadruna in Game 2. Joe Ryan is going to take Game 1 and the ball. We are going to go to... Hopefully we're just going to take this one. Joe Ryan versus Walters. We win that one 5-2. Fott versus Kadruna. We win that one 2-1. We are up 2-0 as we go to Kansas City. Brian Wu versus Brady Singer. We win that one. And we're going to have Kyle Harrison on the bump for Game 4. Just give it to me. That's 2 sweeps. That's 2 sweeps. That's 2 sweeps. The Cardinals win the World Series again. Again, guys. This team is too good. Awards, I just in my head said Yvonne. Gary Cannon wins World Series MVP, and Gary Cannon wins playoff MVP this season. He had 462 in the playoffs. I'll take it. That's 2 in a row. And honestly, this is where I need to sit and take a moment because it's 2031. Realistically, I would say a dynasty is when you win 3 in 5 years, but I want to add that I don't think that it's necessary for us to test that. We have built one of the greatest rosters I've ever built. We have accomplished all of our goals. Foster Heath is an MVP. An amazing. He just is going to continue to get better. Quinn Matthews is a 2-time Cy Young winner and an MVP as our ace. We have Ivan Herrera, who will likely, with this WAR, If he continues to play at this level and a World Series MVP, 2 World Series for himself, I mean, we're talking about easy Hall of Famer. And I guess it's down to what Maldonado and Cannon and all of them become, but we've accomplished our goals. Multiple World Series, we have our Cy Young winner, we have our award winner, and we built a core around a first baseman. I know Maldonado is a shortstop here, but he has played third the entire time. He has never touched shortstop because we have Weatherholt. And we have them all locked up long term. So realistically, I don't feel like I need to sit on this team and rebuild them any longer. We already have fully shown this team is dominant. And it's not like we don't have other guys coming. If I go down a pitcher, a pitcher, another one. Oliveros hasn't even made his way up. We look at our bullpen. We have an A reliever right there. We can look at the rest of this. Cruz is here. Breachin should be up probably next year as a backup catcher. We have Ono and Morales on the way at first base as backups. You got Chang here who's a B. Worth is a B. You have Espinoza, who is a guy I drafted as soon as I stopped showing the drafts. Look at this dude. Pick 30, by the way. And then or 29 or whatever, because that was the last one we didn't show. Estes is an A. Cameron Harris is an A. We're talking about Ruiz. We have Pedro Hernandez here, Jesus Moreno, all these guys who we've drafted. It's not like I guess our outfield isn't perfect, but you could sign guys because we've also signed our guys to cheap contracts. This has almost been too easy. I have tried to kneecap myself at every level in this rebuild. I have made a ton of bad trades. Helsley, by the way, I think has been one of the greatest relievers of all time. Since we got rid of him, he's got 400 saves. He's been consistently dominant. And we could have just kept him because the only thing we got was Dasan Hill. Would have been phenomenal to have too. We've burned and made bad trades intentionally to try to kind of balance myself out. And I've avoided many free agent signings. We only signed Joe Ryan, who is a mid-tier, cheap $15 million pitcher. Kyle Harrison was cheap, relatively. All these guys are under the qualifying offer. We didn't sign any position players besides Larnach, and Jonah Bride was good for this. And so where I'm at, I think, in rebuilds itself, is I need some more challenges. I like building myself a lot of challenges, but this was almost too easy to build a dynasty. And so I would love to hear in the comments below any challenges that you have for me that you want me to try to take on. Not just rebuilding a team, but what are restrictions I need to put on myself to make myself not as good at this, at building these superstar teams? I could say that I've been getting lucky, but I honestly think it's easier to rebuild in this game than it was in the last game, because I think free agency and the budgets and all that make it so that I have so much more room to experiment with in the draft. And so we could do no drafts and try to avoid that. We kind of did that in the Blue Jays rebuild, but we could try and go with I know I just did a 0 overall stuff. We can go with Moneyball strategy, which I kind of want to wait for because I know other people are already doing that. And I mean, we are still kind of doing that. This team also is a Moneyball roster. These guys all, I can't, why? Oh yeah. I was like, why is he here? 345 on base, 393 on base, 410 on base, 361 on base. He wasn't good this year. 354 on base, 432 on, oh my God, he had a 432 on base. Okay. I didn't even see that. 326, we're building guys around on base percentage. We're building pitchers around whip and lower whip, the same things you would do for Moneyball. And so I'm starting to think that I think we need some more challenges to ourselves, some more restrictions that we need to give. And I'm hoping that you can give those. This team would likely end up winning every single World Series if I continue to build around it. This is a dynasty, 100%. I'll keep the save file so that way if anybody wants to see it, and see what else all these guys become, what Foster, Heath, and all them become. I'll keep it. Maybe we'll do some extendeds. We didn't hit the like goal on the last one. Maybe I'll switch up how we do extendeds. Maybe we'll do them live. I guess let me know if you want to see live streams of us just simming these seasons, because we can just kind of chill live if you want to. But I'm rambling now. Essentially, I believe we've accomplished our goals here in the St. Louis Cardinals rebuild. We built the dynasty around a pillar, around our pillars that we've done. We've drafted amazing. We've gotten our award winners, and it's 2031, and they're going to be here for a long time. And I don't want to keep you any longer. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please leave a like below if you liked this video, or if you want to see extendeds, and leave a comments down below. Definitely. I want to see some of your opinions on these rebuilds, what direction you want us to go, because I'm finding they're kind of being a little too easy in MLB 25. And I don't know if that's just because I've been doing them for a while now, that I'm picking up on too many of the things that make these teams better, but it's kind of getting a little too easy for me in this, and I want more challenges. But thank you once again. Leave a like, please subscribe as well. There's going to be a lot more content, especially if we're going to experiment, and I hope you enjoy, and adios.
Go home, get drunk, go sleep, wake up.